The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
According to SNY, Mike Vrabel is the New York Jets' most coveted head coaching candidate. Will Vrabel even take the job? We'll talk about that and much more. Richie from Jets Media joins the show. Let's hit it and get it started.
But I'm just saying here, setting the record straight. This show is about positivity and having a good time and yucking it up. I love this show. I do this shit for free.
Yeah.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go on a Wednesday. Welcome in, everybody. Hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We are presented today by Huga House. Get the hat I'm wearing and the hat Aaron Rodgers is always wearing by going to huegahouse.com and use promo code ASMAN at checkout, and you'll save 15% on your first hat and 30% if you order 2 hats. Once again, huegahouse.com. All the info is in the description box if you need more information. Joining us right now is a good friend to the show, and speaking of Aaron Rodgers, the star of the Aaron Rodgers doc on Netflix, Richie from Jets Media. What's up, Richie?
Jake, thank you so much for having me on. Shout out to the Asmaniacs in the chat right now. Everybody hit the like button for my boy Jake, and I wouldn't say the star of it, man. I'm just a little voice. But I appreciate you, Jake, having me on. I'm excited to talk some Jets in this disappointing season nonetheless, but there's a lot to look forward to on the horizon as a new regime waits, and we're excited to talk about it here. So, Jake, again, thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure to be on the Jake Asman Show.
My pleasure, man, and you do a great job. And I know you were down in Miami, and you were that close to being able to stick it to TD and all the Dolphins fans that the Jets were the team that essentially ended their season. Now, we know it's over anyway because a week later they lose to the Texans, but that could have been the Jets doing that with you in the building.
Oh, my God, man. Listen, I want it for bragging rights. You know, the AFC's roundtable, I got to deal with TD Finn's talk, and also there's off-season talk, right? Oh, you know, last year the Dolphins swept the Jets. You know, all I had to heard this entire offseason was that the Dolphins swept the Jets. So I wanted the Jets to beat them, and I'm holding out hope that we can beat them at home in the final week of the season for bragging rights. But the event was great in Miami. There was a lot of Asmaniacs wearing your merch, Jake, which was great to see. Shout out to the Jets fans that came through to Miami to support the Jets. This close to getting the W, but at the end of the day, we saw a vintage Aaron Rodgers performance, even though they did not come out with the W. It was a success.
Yeah, and look, 2 weeks in a row, he's played well. So we'll start there, then we'll get to what Connor Hughes said about Mike Vrabel. We'll play you the clip so there's full context. What have you made of Rodgers these last 2 weeks? And seemingly a large segment of the fan base talking about bringing Aaron Rodgers back next season as the essential bridge quarterback for this team.
Yeah, I mean, Jake, look at the options that the Jets have outside of Aaron Rodgers, and there's not a lot, right? So I think that's the first thing you got to bring up. Tyrod Taylor's on the roster. What's the free agent market looking like? What's the draft looking like? And also, Aaron Rodgers is under contract. It's not like we have to renegotiate a deal or figure out if Rodgers fits on the books. So the stars are aligned for that. And also, you look at the last 7 games for Aaron Rodgers, 13 touchdowns, 1 interception, and like you can argue he's playing his best football as a Jet because he's fully healthy, the offensive line's starting to play well, and also he's finally back on the same page with Devontae Adams as we saw on Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. 9 catches, 198 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That duo is lethal when they're on the same page. And if you could bring in a coach, which we'll talk about, Mike Vrabel, or another guy that you can feel like you could win with, and you draft a quarterback, even though this draft class is underwhelming, Jake, at the quarterback position, I'm really finding it hard to find another option than Aaron Rodgers as the bridge next year.
I'm right there with you, and we'll talk more about it as we go. I want to shout out Devin, who won the Aaron Rodgers jersey last week on our giveaway. And guess what? Devin is trying to win the Jets surfboard or the Jets Super Bowl III photo for our next raffle. We're about 50 memberships away from doing that live on the show. Devin, thank you, my man.
Oh, nice.
Devin gifted a membership, and it went to listener Benny from the Bronx. So, Benny, you're a channel member, and Devin, you get another raffle ticket with your name on it. Maybe I'll use the one that I picked when you won the jersey earlier in the week, Devin. There you go. So, appreciate the support. All right, let's get to the Mike Vrabel report. This is from Connor Hughes, who covers the Jets, of course, for SNY. This was Connor Hughes on his own podcast talking about what he's hearing in regards to the Jets search involving Vrabel.
From everybody that I have talked to, this is going to be a very thorough search for the Jets, all that stuff. But the name that is kind of here, and then the rest of the pack, from my understanding, it is Mike Vrabel. And I know the Jets have already put out their feelers to gauge interest, if Vrabel would be interested in the Jets, if there's anything there that he would, want the job or take the job or anything like that. But he is somebody that, from my understanding, is atop the Jets' wish list. And it would not surprise me at all if the Jets actually went to Vrabel, and one of the things to try to get him to be their head coach was they said, look, we'll hire you, and then we'll keep you involved in our search for the general manager.
Yeah, blank check, get him. I don't know how you feel about Mike Vrabel, Richie, but that's been my number one guy for a basically since they fired Robert Saleh. I started talking about how I want Mike Vrabel to be the team's head coach next year. Your thoughts on what Connor Hughes said there, and your overall thoughts on Mike Vrabel as a candidate for this team?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jake. Right when the Jets got rid of Saleh and we were already looking into the 2025 season of who the Jets are going to bring in as their head coach, you look at all the options that are out there. Mike Vrabel is the guy that I want for a lot of different reasons. It keeps the foundation of the Jets' identity, which is defense, but it also brings in a guy who knows how to build an offensive coaching staff, which is the biggest thing I want to bring up, because I feel like the big red flag that some people bring up when Mike Vrabel is, he's defensive-minded. We need an offensive-minded guy, man. We can't go back. And I want to remind the people that this guy knows how to build an offensive staff. Matt LaFleur was an offensive coordinator, Jake, and you see what he's doing right now with Green Bay. Excellent head coach. Arthur Smith was an offensive coordinator underneath Vrabel. He was hired to be a head coach, wasn't successful, but the fact that he has two offensive coordinators that was hired to be a head coach tells you all you need to know. And then not to mention, Todd Downing was his offensive coordinator. Now, Todd Downing, ever since he took over for the Jets, I know that he's not elite right now, but he's definitely doing a good job, and there could be a situation where the Jets hire Mike Vrabel, and maybe they keep Todd Downing as maybe the passing game coordinator on the roster to keep some form of continuity with Aaron Rodgers, and then bring in a new offensive coordinator. So that's another thing I love about Mike Vrabel is his ability to build an offensive staff, and we have a roster on paper that is going to be able to play very well defensively right out of the gate, especially when it comes to the accountability and the sense of also the biggest trait about Mike Vrabel I love, Jake, is experience. I do not want a first-year guy. I want someone that knows what it means to be a head coach in this league, has playoff experience, brought Ryan Tannehill to the AFC Championship game, and is someone that is feared around the league. So give me Mike Vrabel for all those reasons.
Look, if you're trying to win next year, I think Vrabel gives you the best chance to do it. And if you're trying to build a long-term, program that can have success year in, year out, I think Vrabel's the best guy for that. Not saying there's not other coaching candidates that would excite me, but I don't know how you feel, Richie. I'm so sick of the Jets hiring first-time coaches, first-time GMs. I don't think where the Jets are right now, where this roster is right now, these don't feel like jobs that are for first-timers. So I want experience. And you're not going to be able to find a better resume out there from a coaching candidate than Mike Vrabel. It's not like you can get Andy Reid. It's not like you can get Sean McVay. So give me the guy that has won 9 or more games in 4 of his 6 years as a head coach, won 2 division titles, went to an AFC championship game, frequently had success against Mahomes and Belichick when they still had Brady. Like, I want the guy that has done it. Look, I'm not saying he's the greatest coach of all time, but the floor for Mike Vrabel is so much higher than anything we've seen since Rex. It's not even funny.
Yeah, and my biggest concern with this, Jake, is all of us building us up, and then Mike Vrabel goes to the Bears or Ohio State, which is some rumors, and then I'm like, okay, who's plan B, right? Because that's another thing we need to talk about. I know I don't want to go there because we all want Vrabel. I could not agree with you more. A first-year coach scares me. It really, really does, especially when you look at this Jets team. We're not going into a rebuild, Jake. It's a retool is the word I like to use. We're not, wiping the floor clean and this team is absolutely trash. Like, the entire roster that's on this team is pretty much going to be the same, right? The pending free agents are guys like DJ Reed, Tyler Conklin, Jamie and Sherwood, Eccles. Those guys are replaceable, in my opinion. And you look at all the core guys on this team that we all love, they're under contract next year, including Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson getting better, Olu Fashanu looking like a stud at left tackle. So I couldn't agree more. Give me someone that has experience and not a first-year guy that we're hoping can be a person that can develop on the spot. I want someone that knows how to do it. Look at the Chargers, Jake. With Justin Herbert, they were failing, and they bring in Harbaugh. They're in the playoffs. Sean Payton with the Broncos, first year was a kind of rebuild. Now they get their quarterback. Now they're succeeding right now. The Washington Commanders with Dan Quinn, first year they're succeeding. Coaching matters in this league, Jake, and I feel like Mike Vrabel will be a guy that can turn this organization around immediately. Not saying we're a Super Bowl contender with Vrabel next year, but I think we could be contenders with this roster and Vrabel next season.
If not Mike Vrabel, who are the other guys you look at, Richie, that would excite you?
Yeah, man, it's an interesting conversation. Brian Flores is someone I would be interested in. Definitely not as high on my board as Vrabel, but we're talking about plan B here. I think that his ability to have a defensive mind, have experience with Miami, is a guy I'd definitely be interested in. Pete Carroll is a guy, even though I feel like it's more of a pipe dream. I don't even know if Pete Carroll's interested in being a head coach anymore. He stepped down from Seattle last year. Maybe he just does not want anything to do with coaching. That's someone I'd like to bring in as well. And Ben Johnson, Jake, I don't know if I'm as high on Ben Johnson as other people. I don't know if that is a bold take, but that's that perfect example of a first-year guy that I'm really scared about. Aaron Glenn is a guy that I'd be interested in, but again, that's a first-year head coach that I don't know if I want to really go into. Rex Ryan, Jake, I gotta get your thoughts about Rex Ryan, man, because
Rexy?
Rex Ryan is the most polarizing coach to potentially come back to the Jets. I don't know. There's part of me that's yeah, bring back Rex. And there's another part of me no. We don't want to go backwards. Where do you stand on the Rex Ryan situation?
Look, I'm not as anti-Rex as seemingly some are. I just would need to know who his offensive coordinator is before I even entertain it. I need to know what his coaching staff's going to look like. And if a GM the Jets hire would actually want to work with Rex again. I'll tell you what, though. I'd take Rex over Aaron Glenn, over a first-time coordinator with a defensive background. I'm tired of the Jets hiring the same type of coach. At least if you bring back Rex, you're bringing in a guy who has had success here, I think would galvanize the locker room, would fix the defense overnight. There are some attractive things about Rex. There's also some things that would concern you. How long he's been away from the game. Would his style work this far out? How it ended, right? We remember the good times, but let's remember, some of the issues Rex had too. So I'm not as anti-Rex as maybe some, but he's not probably in my top 4, top 5 initially.
Yeah, and the best part about Rex that I think every Jets fan loves about Rex Ryan is his ties to the organization and his ability to be a Jets fan, right? So it's he represents us. He understands what it means to be a Jet. He understands the Johnsons, so it's not like he's coming here and he has to develop a relationship with the ownership. He already has that, and he embodies what it means to be a New York Jet, and I think that's what I feel like the people that want Rex, that's a big reason for it. I mean, we heard the snippet of him on ESPN Radio, talking about how much he loves the Jets and how much he'd love to bring this team, and he wants the job. So hearing that definitely sells me on the idea, but there's another part of me that, does his philosophy translate to the modern-day NFL? The last time he was successful was 2009, 2010. I don't know if that's going to translate to today's NFL, so that's where I'm a little iffy.
Here's the thing with Rex, though. You bring him in, and all of a sudden, you got the sexiest coach in the league.
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. You tried to throw him away, but this man's coming back. Sometimes he's fat or thin. That waistband makes him slim. He's got the fix you need. They call him sexy. Rexy.
Fuck Gruden, he's no Jet. I'm here to crack some skulls. I'll turn these boys to men. This team is stacked with pros. Hire me, you won't break your purse. I'm here to break the curse. They call me Sexy Rexy. Fuck all you naysayers.
Ooh, sexy. Ooh, he's sexy Rexy. Sexy. Ooh, he's sexy Rexy. Sexy. Ooh, he's sexy Rexy. Sexy. Ooh, he's sexy Rexy.
That's a good one.
Wow.
Sexy Rexy, baby.
I'm in. Hire him, Woody.
All right, you're sold.
How can you not hire him after that?
Shout out to Gator. I laugh at that
Gator,
every
man.
single time. How do you feel about the monkey guy, Todd Monken, as Peter Castro would call him? the Ravens offensive coordinator. He's not one of these like boy genius types. He's a little older. He's 58. He's never been a head coach in the NFL before, but he's an offensive name I would certainly talk to.
Yeah, what he's doing right now with he's with Baltimore, I believe, right? And I think the job he's done with Lamar after, they moved on from Greg Roman is pretty awesome. What he did with Tampa was great. He's a first-year head coach that you feel more comfortable with because he's old and he's been around the league for so long. But that's not a name that I'm going to be like pounding the table for. He's definitely more plan B, plan C for me. But this is what we have to do as Jets fans. It's a wide net, and it's crazy that the same names are coming up that we were at there after the first cycle of looking after, Robert Saleh. When we hired him, we interviewed Aaron Glenn, I believe. We interviewed Joe Brady, who's another guy to look after in this year's coaching search, Todd Monken. So another name to look after, but not my favorite, if I got to be honest with you, Jake, for the same reasons we talked about. I want someone with experience, and he doesn't really have that at the head coach yet.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. More importantly, please subscribe to the channel. We're doing a giveaway that we will basically have enough members to do maybe by the end of today. LA is gifted another membership. So LA, a raffle ticket with your name is going in the bucket of champions. Listener Joe Like a Boss Music is the recipient of the membership in LA. I don't know if you caught the show when I did a raffle last week. You won an item from the merch store, so you got to message me your information. All right, shoot me an email, asmanjake@gmail.com. Message me what you want from the merch store and where I'm sending it, and I'll take care of that for you today. Congrats on winning an item from the merch store last week. Super chats here, then we'll get back to the conversation with Richie. He's got to run at 10:30, so we got about 10 minutes left. JJ says, Hackett needs to be fired no matter what happens. I mean, look, if you're bringing Aaron back, one of my stipulations is you got to run a modern offense next year. I'm not saying Downing can't be here in some capacity, especially if Mike Vrabel wants to keep him because those two are familiar with one another. But like that to me would be a big thing, right? Like run a modernized offense if you're bringing Aaron back. And if he's not on board with that, then all right, see ya. But like the Jets are no longer doing everything for what Aaron Rodgers wants. It should be about you're the bridge quarterback. You give us the best chance to win, but we're not building everything around you after what we've seen these last 2 years.
The one thing that we definitely need to keep in mind, though, is knowing Aaron Rodgers. A big reason why he wanted to come to the Jets was because of Hackett, and the reason why he wanted to come to the Jets of Hackett is the system. The one thing we know about Aaron, Jake, is he's not going to want to learn a new system at this stage of his career. The only chance he comes back with the Jets is if they hire somebody.
He said he would learn a new system, though.
He did?
He did. He did say it. Yeah, he said it wouldn't be a deal breaker having to learn a new system if Hackett and Downing aren't back.
Yeah, I feel like, I just feel like the continuity has to be a similar type of system because at that stage of his career, it's like learning a new language, and Rodgers has been so successful in the system he's in now. And I feel like, if it's not a deal breaker, great. It has to be something that has familiarity in the system, but definitely change. We can't have the same exact system the Jets have been running the last 2 years, that's for sure. And I don't think it's, if the Jets bring in Vrabel, you keep Todd Downing more as a passing game coordinator, and then you hire an offensive coordinator because Todd Downing, I think, has done pretty good. I mean, I don't think that they have to can him. I feel like I'd be comfortable with him staying as a passing game coordinator, bringing a new offensive coordinator. Hackett, on the other hand, maybe keep him as like his friend. I don't know. I don't really care. Fire him or just keep him, but make sure he has no impact on the offensive staff at all.
Henny in the house. He says, what's up, boys? I like Vrabel because he's not an offensive guy or a defensive guy. He's just a head coach. Can't wait to drink Henny again next season. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Hennessy Heisman, drinking Henny after wins for once.
Please.
Look, that's what I like about Vrabel, too, though. He's hired two OCs that became head coaches. He won without great quarterback play. He built a system there where they maximize the talent they had. Like a good coach takes the talent and you adjust your talent, to what you're working with, right? You are able to coach with what you have. And the Jets have talent, which is why plugging in Mike Vrabel to this team, you feel like they could be competitive next year and fight for at least a wild card at the bare minimum.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like a lot of people are blaming Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, a little too much this season. If you go back and look at the games we lost, Jake, I mean, that Broncos game, I was there for that one. Greg Zuerlein, that Buffalo Bills game, we were just a Tyron Smith holding penalty away and Greg Zuerlein hitting the field goals to win that football game. And then the defense failed against the Patriots, allowing Brissett to go down the field and win. The defense failed against Anthony Richardson and the Colts, allowing him to march down the field and win. So there's a lot of elements where if you felt like we had the same special teams and defensive unit last year with this team, I don't know, Jake. It's hypothetical stuff, but I think we're in the playoff race right now if we had that same kicking situation and defense that we did last year mixed in with the exact offense that we've had this season.
I agree. I mean, you look at how bad the defense has been, how bad the coaching has been, the special teams. It's not, exonerating Aaron. He obviously, has had moments where he's not played well. But, I mean, I keep coming back to this stat that I saw circulating online. Like, the Jets have had the lead with under a minute to go in 5 of their last 7 games, and they're 2-5 in those games. Like, you can't tell me if Aaron had last year's Jet defense with how he's playing now, they don't have at least 3 or 4 more wins. There's just no way.
And the reason why the Jets defense the last 2 seasons was so excellent, Jake, was because their ability to get stops in the clutch. I mean, you go back, you remember when the Jets beat the Bills at MetLife 2 years ago? We stopped Josh Allen to march down the field and won the game. Do you remember when we beat the Philadelphia Eagles last year when they were 9-0, Jake? We needed to get a stop against Jalen Hurts, and Tony Adams came through with the interception. I mean, that's what this defense was known for, getting stops when we need to win the game in the fourth quarter. And that is exactly what they did. The opposite this season. Every time the Jets defense needed to get a stop to win, we have failed. And that's what this defense was built on. A defensive line rotation that they're ready to go in late in the fourth quarter, pin their ears back, get the clutch play, and that's what we failed to do. Against the Broncos last year, Quincy Williams got the strip sack, Bryce Hall returns it for 6 for the win. This defense was the reason why we were winning in the clutch, and that has been the opposite, unfortunately, this season for the Jets.
Bang Mateo with another asinine comment. Vrabel is okay, but he's not an X and O's. He's a jock that relies on coordinators. Objectively speaking, Bang, one of your dumber comments of all time. Go look at the amount of times Vrabel knew the rules and manipulated the clock to save his team extra timeouts. He beat the Texans in the game in 2020 by sending an extra player out there to take an intentional too many men on the field penalty, saved Tennessee timeouts that they then used to go down the field and beat the Texans with a last-second score. So please, you're wrong about that. You just look at Mike Vrabel and see a guy that played, former linebacker, big tough guy, and say he's a jock. That's not true. He's one of the smartest coaches, or was when he was a head coach, one of the smartest head coaches in the league. So please don't spread that nonsense. Hennessy. Actually, I just read that one. Tony
and also,
writes
give me
in,
a jock, by the way, Jake. I mean, give me a jock that's going to send some accountability.
Tony says the 2 best Jets content creators on the planet, all in on Vrabel. He can bring stability to our team. I need to see the sexy Rexy dance again. Well, Tony, I'll tell you what. I might just play it for you, but not yet. It's got to come at the right time. All right. We don't want to overdo the sexy Rexy. All right. He's too sexy for all of us. We gotta take it easy here. Devin writes in, my guys, Richie, it was great to meet you in Miami. We need to hire Mike Vrabel, then figure out the GM with him. Run it back for one more time with AR. That's right. You met my guy Devin down in Miami.
Yeah, I did. It was great to meet you down in Miami, man. Shout out to all the Jets fans that represented at the AFC's roundtable down in Miami. I wish that game meant something going in. That was the idea when we scheduled that, Jake, that event. That game was going to be for the division or a wild card berth, but it's all good. It was great to meet you guys down in Miami.
This is a comment from the Peter Castro. Anybody who could win with Tannehill has done a good job.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he brought him to the AFC Championship game. Imagine what he can do with Aaron Rodgers healthy. And that's another thing about Aaron that we got to talk about, Jake. Unfortunately, I don't want to make it sound like it's excuses, but he's been on the injury report all season. And now we're finally seeing what he looks like when he's not on the injury report. Moving, leading the Jets in rushing yards, extending plays. That's when Aaron's at his best. He's not a pure pocket passer. He's a guy that can extend plays with his legs, and we're seeing that in the last 2 weeks. Now, the big question I have is, can he do it in the cold weather? He's done his entire career in Green Bay in the cold, but the last 2 weeks has been in sunny Florida. Let's see what he does against the Rams on Sunday in the cold at MetLife.
Yeah, from that standpoint, that's why these last 3 games are interesting, because I don't think Rodgers' future has been decided one way or another. He's played well the last 2 games, but the opponents haven't been great. Can we see what he looks like now against a Rams team that's going to need the game for their playoff hopes? Mm-hmm. The Bills are going to need the game for their playoff seeding. There's a lot still on the line for these 2 teams the Jets are playing the next 2 weeks, and let's see how Aaron plays. If they're going to beat the Rams, they're going to need to score a lot of points because the Rams offense is going to put up points on this garbage Jet defense. We know that. So, if Aaron looks good down the stretch, I'm going to lean towards bringing him back. If these 2 weeks is just an outlier and he goes back to playing poor under 200 yards passing again, then it's to me, a different conversation. So I really think there is some things to watch here these final 3 games.
Yeah, especially his connection with Devontae Adams. I mean, if we're seeing Aaron and Devontae click like they did back in the MVP days, I mean, how can you not want to bring them back? If they beat the Rams and then go into Buffalo and somehow beat the Bills, like, that tells me all I need to know. I know it's going to be like, oh, it's too little, too late. Here we go. The Jets selling us false hope when it doesn't even matter anymore. But this is important for the 2025 Jets, in my opinion, especially with the new regime coming in, if they play well.
I completely agree with you. Grinch writes in, what are your thoughts on drafting Carson Beck in the later rounds? And you have to get that video to Rex. If anyone has the number for Rex, I'd love to send it to him and also get him on the show. What are your thoughts on drafting Carson Beck? Carson Beck had like all this hype going into the year that he might be the number 1 pick in the draft. And then he just didn't play well. So, maybe a guy that you throw a dart throw on later on, but I don't really have a strong opinion on him one way or another, as long as they don't do it on, in the first round.
Yeah, like this year is interesting because I really want the Jets to draft a quarterback, but there's not a lot of guys I love in this draft class where the Jets will be drafting. Cam Ward will be gone. Sanders will be gone. Jalen Milroe is a guy that may be available when the Jets are on the clock. Is he someone I want? And then outside of those 3, you're talking about Beck and all these guys. Aller is a guy that some Jets fans wanted. He's going back to college. I like Jordan Travis, but I don't like him enough to just roll into the season with just him as the only young guy to build. So interesting to see where the Jets go in the draft when it comes to the quarterback position.
Richie, you are the man. I always appreciate you hopping on the show. I know you got to run. You're doing another show in a little bit. So thanks for hopping on, and I'm sure we'll be in touch. And, keep trolling TD, man. We're counting on you.
I'm trying my best right now, man. Jake, thank you so much for having me on. Always a pleasure. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for supporting my guy, Jake. Congrats on 40,000 subs. I know that was a little bit ago, but I just want to say that is a huge milestone for your YouTube channel. Continue to grind. Everybody do me a favor. Smash the thumbs up button for my boy, Jake Asman. He's grinding more than anybody else on YouTube. Much love to you, Jake, and I will see you soon, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Richie from Jets Media. If you guys aren't subscribed to his channel, what are you doing? Also, you heard Richie's voice if you watched the Rodgers documentary, which came out yesterday on Netflix. Shout out to Richie for always coming on the show. O-Rock says, the people demand Sexy Rexy. I'll tell you what. If we get, if we get another 10 memberships, we'll play the Sexy Rexy video again. And you know what? We only need 5 more because Devin just dropped a 5 spot of channel memberships, baby. If you want Sexy Rexy, we are halfway there.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
All right, here we go. The following 5 people are now channel members, and Devin, who won the Rodgers jersey, is trying to win more prizes. Nick Campo, Funky Fresh Frank, Braden NZL, Jat, and Percy, all receiving channel memberships. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just 4 away now from another encore performance of Sexy Rexy because Jorge has gifted 1 channel membership. Boom. Let's see. Listener Shane Nitro Into My Veins is the recipient of the membership. So Jorge, welcome. Let's see. Did I miss any super chats here? I don't believe I did. Let's open up the Gusbuster hotline right now. We'll start taking your calls real quick. I just saw I got a merch order live on the show. Shout out to listener Jill, who just ordered a Jake Asman Show mug and a Jake Asman Show rocks glass. That's being sent down to Palm Bay, Florida. Thank you for supporting the show, Jill. I really appreciate it. JakeAsman.com/shop. If you have any last-second Christmas presents you need, check it out, JakeAsman.com/shop. All right, let's open up the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline right now, and we'll get to plenty of your calls today on the show. If you go to Gusbuster.com, you could purchase the best umbrella in the universe, and you could use the promo code Jake, so you'll get 15% off on any of your umbrellas. Ladies and gentlemen, Austrian, or actually no. So we have the number 1 Austrian Jet fan, and then we have Australian Jet fan. He's on the line. What's up, Australian Jet fan?
Hey, how you doing? I have a bit of a story to tell. So I recently got back from Indonesia, and like watching the Jets over there is impossible. So I got lucky basically. Stream Easter stuff doesn't work over there, so I had no way of watching besides checking the score. And then I'm at the airport all day. I come home at around 11 o'clock at night, my time. And then I couldn't fall asleep. So I waited till 5 a.m. to watch the Jets. And I thought, what am I doing to myself? But then they actually won.
So did you see the game live then?
Yeah, I watched the whole Jacksonville game live.
Wow. Okay. So at least you stayed up and you saw a win.
I was sitting there as soon as they had the ball, I thought, oh, we're gonna lose. And then Devontae got that monster 70-yard touchdown. I screamed. But then I saw that obviously I thought, okay, our defense is gonna ruin it again. And then I don't know how they did it, but they did it, and Sauce got a pick.
Hey, look, they played another bad team, but it's nice to win, Yeah,
Yeah.
It's nice to win, and it's nice to see this quarterback and wide receiver combo do what we thought they were going to do when they made that move.
You take what you get at 3-10.
You're not wrong, and we haven't had much, but it does make these final 3 games a little more intriguing now, based on how Rodgers has looked the previous 2 games.
I still think that this team can compete with Rodgers. Like we've all said all season. I blame Woody for the appalling coaching staff, the appalling front office. I completely blame that. I think we have the talent. We just don't have it above the actual players, above in the front office, the coaching staff. That's where all our problems are.
It's tough to argue with that. I mean, I think coaching, if you're ranking the issues on this team, I think the clear number 1 is coaching.
Yeah, no, exactly. I couldn't agree with you more.
So the Jets play at 1:00 this Sunday, U.S. time, Australian Jet fan. What time is that your time, this game?
5 a.m.
Oh, my God. So you're going to go to bed and get up early, or do you pull the all-nighter and then sleep after?
No, I'm going to go to bed, but I need to watch this. I hate the Rams. They're up there. I hate the Rams, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. They're my least favorite teams.
Why do you hate the Rams? There's no Jet-Ram rivalry.
Because here in Australia, I have 2 friends that like the NFL as well. One of them goes for the Cowboys. One of them goes for the Rams. My Cowboys friend, he's fine. But this Rams fan, it just happens every single sport that he follows. He is the biggest pain in the butt. Every time my team plays his teams, I pray that they win.
Well, that's interesting. I have no issue with the Rams. So,
He's been annoying me all year. And if the Jets somehow beat the Rams, I won't have to put up with it at all.
I'll tell you what. I hope the Jets win just for you, Australian Jet fan. Good call. Love the passion, man. Getting up at 5 a.m. to watch a 4-10 football team. I'm telling you, this fan base deserves so much better than what we get. And there are Jet fans everywhere, not just in the U.S. I went out to London this year, and I met 500 plus as maniacs that are from all over Europe. And we know about the Jet following in Australia. It's unreal. It really is. It's a special fan base that deserves so much more than the bull we've been dealing with. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a conflict of interest here. I promised if we hit a certain amount of memberships, I'd play the Sexy Rexy video again, to which Mimosa just got us over the hump. We needed 4 more. He gifted 5. Here's the issue, though. Mimosa, you're getting 5 raffle tickets with your name on it. But then Rick Kent just sent in a $10 super chat saying, I'll give 10 memberships right now if you don't play that awful Rex video. And look, I'm a capplefish, as Bobby Midnight would say. All right? I like to go to bed and fan myself with copious amounts of cash. We all love the Sexy Rexy video besides Rick Kent, but money rules, man. They call me Juan Soto Asman. I'm going to the highest bidder. Rick, you give 10 memberships. The Rex video is not being played. But you have some competition now. I'm going to need 15 from you because we just got 10 to match what you were going to match from Marvelous. So, Rick, here's the agreement. All right? You want the video to not be played? You got to go full Steve Cohen. All right? $805 million. Marvelous and Mimosa have now combined for 10 memberships. So, Rick, for you to beat that, you're going to have to go to at least 15 for the video to not be played. All right? And as Tom Ace notes, I'm going to require a free suite as well. And I need security for me and all 70 members of my family. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent has just given the memberships we needed. Holy hell. A 5 spot, a 10 spot. The bidding is off the charts. All right, we will give Mimosa and we will give Marvelous or whoever else a chance to respond. 15 is the number right now. Do I have 20 memberships? Let me just shout out, but this is insane, by the way. Rick hating that video so much. Let me just shout out those who got some memberships here. It's raining all of a sudden. The following people are now channel members. We're going to do a raffle this afternoon, by the way. We just hit what I needed to do another raffle. I'm No Seagull, Siberian Nightmare, Alexander Aseri, Greg Coleman'sberger, The Real YT Shadow Realm, all receiving memberships. Here's 5 from Marvelous, Roll Cabral, Justin Harris, Zugaz, Jesse Davis, T. Sayan, Rick Kent's 10 right here, Peter S., Papa Jet 73, Daquan Smalls, Ryan L., Billy M., 3 siblings. Jay, you finally got a membership. Hennessy Heisman. Here's 5 more from Rick Kent. Jaden DeAngelo. We know Rob is fired up about that one. Tomato Can. Delusional Jets fan. Mickey Rosa. Danette Randall. All receiving memberships here. Folks, the bidding war is underway. Auction style. We'll give it a couple minutes and see if anyone comes through. But right now, Rick Kent with 15 memberships is the lead. If someone gives 5, we're now up to 20. And so on we go. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello on the Gusbuster hotline to Jason in Jerusalem. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Jake. Loved the show yesterday, the head coach one, where you went around the league. Really well done.
Hold on a second. We're coming right back to you, Jason. Rick Kent is basically going full Steve Cohen right now. Oh, my goodness. Rick Kent with a 10 spot of channel memberships. So what is that? That's now 25 that he's getting. That's 25 raffle tickets. This is unreal. Rick Kent must have won the lottery yesterday. Where's this money coming from? Eric Barty, Dixon Yaz, Jet Up Buttercup, Cactus Johnny, Extinguish the Guilt, NY Jets Florida. Even people who couldn't sniff membership for whatever reason are now getting it in the YouTube algorithm. Dan Van G, Daniel Salas Jr., Mario, all receiving memberships. Rick Kent goes, I have a job. That's where that comes from. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think anyone's beating 25 memberships, Rick, so I don't think the Rex video will be played. Unreal. Everyone hit the Rick Kent emoji, my God. All right, back to Jason's call. Unreal, Rick Kent, you're the man. What's up, Jason?
I've actually never seen the Rexy video, so it really makes me want to stick around and see if it gets outbid.
I don't know if anyone's coming up with 30 memberships.
All right. Here's what I wanted to say. You're talking about Rodgers and being on the team next year. I still think that the cap situation really needs to play a big factor in that. You know, with what you posted last week, that it's a $40 million hit if he's not on next year, and $60 million if he is on next year. To take Aaron Rodgers for an extra year for like a 9-8 season, if you're not really planning on doing all that much, what's the game?
Make the playoffs, end the longest playoff drought in sports, build a culture, stop losing. You know, I agree with you though. That would be the argument. I would say this though, Jason. If you keep Rodgers, you're getting Devontae. I really do think there's a scenario where Rodgers would redo his contract to help with the dead cap stuff. I could see it. I don't think it's crazy.
You think he'd do that not knowing who the coaches are? The whole thought.
No. It's only based on him buying into the next regime. So let's say for this example, I think Mike Vrabel's keeping Rodgers if they hire him. So let's say they get Vrabel, and Vrabel's like, I want Rodgers for a year. I think Rodgers to play with Vrabel would redo his deal, take a little less and then keep Devontae.
Who on the list do you think Rodgers would right away say like no way in hell?
I don't know. I don't know if there's one guy where he'd be like no way in hell, but I think there's guys he's definitely be open to do it.
Right, like we said, Bisaccia when we were talking.
What? Yeah, but I don't think the Jets are going to hire Rich Bisaccia.
I hear that. I still don't understand why nobody's hired him. There must be something going on. He had one job and he did a hell of a job with those Raiders that year, with losing Ruggs the way that he lost Ruggs. Gruden and everybody else getting fired in the mid-year and somehow making them into the playoffs. And I mean, they got them. Was it 4 yards from going to overtime in playoffs? Going to the next round.
It's probably tough to sell to a fan base. Hey, we're going to hire a special teams coordinator.
I mean, John Harbaugh has done a pretty good job there in Baltimore.
100%. It's rare. Is my point. He never got another chance, and I feel like it's like a stock. It's like he was like the trendy stock, and then once you're kind of out of sight, out of mind, it cools off.
I'll disagree with that, but I still think there's something else going on there. I mean, a lot of guys have stocks. You talk about Bieniemy and you talk about Leftwich, that they're the hottest coordinator one year. They don't get hired, and all of a sudden they're out of the league altogether, even as a coordinator. I mean, where's Byron Leftwich right now?
I don't even know where he's coaching right now. It's a good question. Byron Leftwich. He is he not with a team right now? Let's see.
I think he's with Adam Gase at that high school in Michigan.
I don't think he's coaching right now. I can't see anything on where he is.
Yeah. Completely fell off the face. And we didn't even touch him. Normally it's after your Jets career that like the Cotites and the Gases disappear. Leftwich didn't even sniff the Jets.
Yeah, I'm always wary of bringing in anyone that works with like these all-time great quarterbacks, man. Like we know what Adam Gase was. We know what Josh McDaniels was. Leftwich never got a job post Brady.
Right.
I'm always a little weary of that.
And Bill O'Brien?
Bill O'Brien, I would not hire to be this team's coach. I think Bill O'Brien and the New York media, as someone who covered him, would be a recipe for disaster.
Okay, I was wondering about that because you need somebody who's a tough skin, which is why I love, and I say this all the time, Vrabel or Flores, one or the other.
I could tell you, I like Bill personally. I think this media market, if they start losing, would eat him alive. He's got very thin skin.
Oh, I'd have to defer to you on that one. I mean, you were in Houston, and you know the culture he created there. Also, I wouldn't want him to let him run the organization.
No, that'd be the thing, right? Bill O'Brien, I think it's a bad knock, a bad rap. Like, he was some disaster. He was a horrific GM. Bill O'Brien, the GM, got Bill O'Brien, the head coach, fired. He was a competent NFL head coach. They won games. They won a division title. And oh, by the way, what has Deshaun Watson done since leaving Bill O'Brien? Just throwing that out there.
Correct. But talk about cap situation. $200 million cap hit if they get rid of him now. He's really uncuttable for the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, he's locked in. I mean, the only thing is like they're stuck. They want to eat the money. They'll eat the money, but I think he's on their team next year. He might not start, but he's on their team.
Absolutely. But looking at the prospects this year and where the Jets are, there's no reason to tank. I like Jordan Travis. I mean, the whole question with Travis was, could he, if he played in the playoff game and if he went through the combine, could he have elevated his stock to a late first, early second? He never got the chance because of the injury. Can he actually do that on the Jets and build a name for himself? I mean, guys like Dak have made good careers being a mid-round pick.
He's a total unknown, right? He's coming off the injury. He's a 5th-round guy. He probably would have been a 3rd-round pick if he never got hurt. You give him a chance to compete, and you see what he looks like. And but the regime that took him, they're all gone. So they're not going to be attached to him. So there's a path he's not even going to be on the team.
Absolutely, but I think he's actually safer. Sometimes when you have the 2nd-round picks, or even the 1st-round picks, the new regime comes in and says, "Okay, we want to completely erase ourselves from the previous regime." When you had Clausen in Carolina, or even Josh Rosen in Arizona, where they have no leashes. When you have a mid-round pick, you're not really embarrassing the previous regime by cutting them that much. Nothing was expected of them. So I can see them holding on to him more so and giving him more of a chance.
I mean, he hasn't even played in a preseason game yet, so I'm sure they'll give him a chance to, go through OTAs and play a little bit in the preseason. But anything they get is a bonus. He's a lottery ticket. I wouldn't count on Jordan Travis for anything.
At best, he's QB3 next year to start the season.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm doing Kirk Cousins watch to see if he's QB2.
No, Jason, I love you. Good God. Cousins is shot. He can't move, man. He can't move. Say what we want about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is way better coming off the same injury than Cousins been. And Rodgers is like 5 years older. No, thank you on Kirk Cousins. Also, screw him. He used the Jets for leverage to go to the Vikings in the first place. He wanted nothing to do with New York. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Reality, who always has asinine comments to make, is back with more. At least he paid for it. Vrabel for the culture, but his offense is the 80s. Yes, he hired Matt LaFleur, who ran an 80s-style offense en route to getting the Packers head coaching job and proving he's one of the better young coaches in the league. Great point. Thank you for the time, as always.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Hey, shout out to LA. He sent me an email. So, LA, I got your info. When I'm done with the show, we'll be shipping you the Asmaniac unisex hoodie that you're requesting for winning the raffle. Love it. Philly Noodles is in on a raffle ticket. He's gifted one channel membership, and let's find out who got it. King Lowski got it. How about that? Love that. Love that. Shout out to King Lowski, of course, at Philly Noodles for coming through. All right, let's get to more of your calls right now. Let's say hello on the Gus Buster hotline to Jacob, who's next. What's up, Jacob?
What's going on, Jake?
How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I wanted to kind of get your thoughts. You think it's completely like if we keep Rodgers, it has to be like a guy that's coached already, like Vrabel. Like it can't be like a first-time NFL head coach.
I think it's more likely if it's a veteran coach, they'd want to keep Rodgers. I don't think it's. I think if they hired a first-time coach, it doesn't rule out Rodgers. My feeling is veteran coach more likely to want to keep Rodgers because they feel like you're not worried about Rodgers is going to run the team if you're an established coach. Like you're comfortable in your own skin and you recognize he might give you the best chance to win.
So, because I really like this the coach, the Oregon coach. Like I like him a lot.
Dan Lanning?
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd leave college. I feel like that's too risky of a hire for the Jets, too, to make.
I normally agree with you on college coaches as risky, but if this guy, like, hypothetically, right, he wins the national championship, kind of like Harbaugh won last year, you don't think he would make the jump?
Well, maybe, but has he ever given any indication he wants to go to the NFL? Like, he seems very happy at Oregon.
Right. I guess, I mean, I don't know. I think the reason that, I mean, obviously it's still early in the hiring process, but I think the reason the Jets are still waiting is because they want to wait for all the college coaches to be available, especially the ones that are in the playoffs.
Well, they can't hire any coach that's working for a team right now anyway. That's why the only people they've interviewed are GM candidates that are unemployed.
Well, yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on it. And also, like, you look at a guy like Bo Nix right now, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah. Look at the environment he's in, though. Look at his coach. Look at some of the players they got for him. Sean Payton's proven he can coach quarterbacks.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
Jacob, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks for calling in. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, your super chats. We'll cut the line. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Johnny Boy. Hello, Johnny Boy.
Hey, what's going on, Jake?
How are you, Johnny?
I'm good, man. How you holding up?
I'm hanging in. One day at a time.
So I hear that, man. Hey, big shout out to may he rest in power to Keith Best. I wanted to call in yesterday, man, but bro, that was a tough one, man, to have to try to talk in regards to that. F cancer, like you said yesterday, bro. It sucks, man. He's one of the best that was out there. His calls were so positive and uplifting when he would call and all that. It was like, like one of your uncles, like, one of the older heads, the OGs that was here. So may he rest in power, man. So Keith Best, I'm hoping that the Jets get their crap together and get that dub for him, man. And he's speaking to everybody up there and watching down on us as well. So
well said. Well said.
Now to our Jets, man. The Vrabel conversation, like, first and foremost, I have to say this. I want Flores, right? So I'm a Flores dude. But the Vrabel conversation, if he's there and he's wanting to come over here and everything goes great, why not? Like, the guy's proven he's done stuff in regards to that. The guy's he's culture, and let's be honest, none of these picks that we're talking about in regards to the head coaches, the GMs, I don't think none of it happens until the end of the season itself, because I really believe that the Jets are actually going to go ahead and interview a whole bunch of different people and make the best choice in regards to that, and not just jump the gun. And one of the other things I wanted to say in regards with the Aaron, I don't know if you saw the documentary yet.
I haven't watched it yet. No.
One of the biggest talks in regards to Aaron Rodgers, right, was the whole that he won't learn a new offense or he won't do that or anything. But when you watch it, Jake, he talks about the whole Matt LaFleur quarterback change. I mean, not quarterback, the coaching change when he came on, and pretty much was like, Matt LaFleur was like, dude, he was the first one that was inside the office, learning the new offense, being able to helping out Jordan Love and all that. So it's intriguing to see that, because he said it, and you said it before. You said it. Aaron have said it multiple times that, he's willing to learn any kind of new offense. So at the end of the day, man, like, it is what it is. I just really hope that the Jets make a really good choice. They do what's in the best for the Jets organization itself. And let's get a winning season, man. Like, I know everybody's talking about playoffs and they keep talking about Super Bowls and stuff. But I honestly, man, I'm at the point where I just really want a freaking winning season. And it's time, bro. Like, we've dealt with this so much. Like, it sucks because, again, we got individuals that have been here with us watching your show, watching the Jets, and they're passing, bro. And all they've ever seen for forever and a day is crappy ball, and it sucks. So, Jake, I appreciate you keep doing the content, man. I had some free time real quick because the kids are asleep. I wanted to come up here and show some love, man. I like your hat, bro. That hat is tough, man. So
promo code Asman, baby. Huga House. Yeah.
All day, every day, man. But hey, Jets, Jets. Still, let's get a W. I'm not no tanking situation, and stay the hell away from Kirk Cousins. People are talking about Kirk Cousins. Please, no, man. Like, let dude know. All right. But Jake, appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing, brother.
Johnny, thank you as always for the call, dude. I'm with you. No to Kirk Cousins. I can't. Can't do it. Can't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time.
Hi, Jake. How you doing?
Congratulations are in order. Bobby Midnight is down. How many pounds, Bobby?
Well, 8.9, but I lost 6 pounds this week. Last week.
6 pounds in the last week. Let's go, Bobby.
Because of butter.
No, because you're exercising more. You're not drinking
Well,
soda anymore.
last week
and
I
you're
wasn't
eating.
exercising too bad. It was bad weather up here. Crap.
I know, but that's why you're losing weight. Don't think that you eating sticks of butter is helping. You lose
Yeah,
more weight.
no
in fact, if you stop eating.
carbohydrates, no soda, no nothing.
Yep.
So yeah, I like Richie. He's a good kid, huh?
Oh, great guy.
He's a young kid, isn't he? Young.
He's
like
a young
in his-
whippersnapper. He's Connor Love's
Young.
age. He's 13.
No, he's not that young. He's
Yeah,
like
yeah. He's a young whippersnapper.
I think he's like 21 or something. Yeah, I don't want Kirk Cousins. I do want Vrabel though as a head coach. Yeah,
You want Grable or Vrabel?
Vrabel. Yeah, Vrabel.
I see.
He's a great coach.
Also,
He did-
Bobby's Butternuts says, congrats, Bobby.
Oh, thank you very much, Bobby. Nuts. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, I didn't get angry that time, huh? Are you
Hey,
surprised?
Yeah, I am.
I am surprised.
Uh-oh. David is saying your scale is rigged. That's not true, is it?
David, let's go blow a kite. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Blow a kite. That's new.
Yeah, well, I don't know him. I don't care. I weighed myself yesterday evening. I'm supposed to weigh myself in the morning, like Nick said, because the light is during the day, which I forgot to do. So it's next Wednesday we do it on Christmas Day.
Nice. I'll be hosting the morning show on ESPN that morning and then going to the Knicks game.
All right. Who are they playing?
They're playing the Spurs.
Oh, they're going to beat the Spurs.
I hope.
The Spurs are not a good team.
Well, they have. I actually don't know how they're doing this year. I haven't followed closely. They have one of the next stars in the league on their team, though.
So if we get Vrabel, who's going to be a defense coach?
I don't know. But I would trust Mike Vrabel to hire the right people.
But then they just said if Vrabel gets hired, he's going to help choosing the general manager. Isn't the general manager supposed to be picked first, though?
Yes, but in some scenarios, if you really want the coach bad enough, you hire him, and then most GM candidates would be like, yeah, I'd love to work with Mike Vrabel. So you find someone that he'd be comfortable working with.
Who do you think he'd be comfortable working with?
Me personally, I hope it's Thomas Dimitrov because I like the idea of bringing in two guys with experience to do
Yeah,
these
you
jobs.
talked to him before, right?
I think he was a good GM in Atlanta. And I think he deserves another chance.
Oh, good. Okay, let's do that. And the Giants play Atlanta this week. They're going to get their asses.
Yeah, you get to watch Michael Penix start.
Yeah, well, the Giants got to still lose. I don't see them winning anything.
Probably. Interesting comment here from Bobby's Sweaty Scrotum. It is getting a lot less sweaty down here these days. Keep it up, Bobby.
Wait until the summer comes. That's when it gets really sweaty down there.
All right. We're done here. Thank you, Bobby.
Hey, at least I'm not.
Incredible. But I am happy for Bob. 9 pounds in like 2 weeks. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Shout out to J Quest, Asmaniac Super Chat here. Rest in peace, Keith Best, and my condolences to his family. Vrabel or Flores, Rick Kent for life. Rick Kent for life is something I've been saying for years. I'm with you. Amen, J Quest. RIP to Keith always. All right, we got some big time memberships being dropped right now. Cincy Matt in the house. Yeah, you heard it, baby. A 5 spot. Bang! If you hear your name called, these are from Cincy Matt, Jet Life 407, Mr. Flowers, Dylan Barr, Stephen Craig, Ripple, all receiving channel memberships. There will be a raffle this afternoon during the show with Parles. At 4 p.m., we'll raffle away the 2 prizes that I've been hyping up this week. The Jet Surfboard, Calabunga Dude, and then the Super Bowl III photo, which will be sent to you in mint condition for you to frame and put it in your man cave. So we got that all covered. All right, Super Chat from Cincy Matt. He says, Alan Hull. Hold on, have we hit our goal? No, it's we needed 10 super chats of 5 or more. And then the bounty I put on Alan would go into effect. It's a new feature YouTube added. I'm trying it out for the first time. You can set a goal. So I said over an hour of the stream, we got 10 teal super chats or more. We send Alan to the hole immediately. So we only had 50 seconds left. So I think Alan's going to survive. But that's a new way. It's a new YouTube added a new feature. I'm basically using it to put bounties on people that I think are douchebags, like Alan. So keep that in mind. We have a new system to put bounties on people. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Dirty, who's next. What's up, Dirty?
What's up, Jake? Everything going well so far during the holiday season?
Yeah, Dirty, hanging in. How are you?
I'm well. So what I gotta say, the last couple episodes, or the past week episodes, have been crazy. I've loved these episodes you guys you've been having, and I like the roulette. The roulette that's perfect.
You talking about the Rumble?
Yeah, the Rumble. Sorry. Yeah, the Rumble. I think that is genius.
Yeah, thank you. You know, the reason we had to do something is it would always happen naturally on the show, but like we reached a point where it felt like it was happening like every day or every other day. So I'm like, Gator, we need like an intro where I could just throw it and the entire audience knows what's coming. It sets everyone up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that spices it up a lot. I think that's something that's needed. You never know who's gonna get who. I think it's a great way to start the day.
I love it. I appreciate that.
Yeah. But I'm gonna lose service, man. I hope you guys are having a great holiday. And JETS, Jets.
Dirty, you're swimming in packages there, man.
I know. One wrong turn and it's all gonna come on me. So.
Well, Dirty, I appreciate it, man. I'll hit this just for you. One wrong turn and all them packages are flying everywhere. Oh, wow. Look at this. The great Jeffrey R is in for 5. Count it. 5 channel memberships.
Excuse me.
Gregor Smith, Freddie McKnight, 1189 Paris, David Perlmutter, and Daniel Valentine, all receiving channel memberships from Jeffrey R. Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate your support. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Jay Graves is next. What's up, Jay Graves?
Hey, Jake, what's going on?
How are you, Jay Graves?
I am good. I just caught your second show yesterday. Unfortunately, I was working, so I didn't catch it live. I just gotta say, Alan, all-time call yesterday. I'm so mad I missed it live. Well done, Alan. Also want to say, the caller Raven, nice to see another 4%er coming up with some good takes. Alan is trying to pit us against each other. It will not happen, Alan. I am a supporter of all 4%ers who give good takes.
That's
now,
right.
If you give trash
lift
takes,
up 4%ers around here. I love it.
but if you give trash takes and you're a 4%er, I will let you know. Don't be bringing our name down. But that being said, I called in to talk about all this Vrabel, Rodgers stuff. My fear is, what if Rodgers pulls up, I'm going to a darkness retreat. I don't know what I'm going to do while we're hiring a new coach. The new coach says, yeah, I kind of want Aaron, but Aaron doesn't know what he wants. And now we're all this stupid shit show again for another year.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be my fear. Because we don't even know if he wants to play yet. I'm thinking he does, but there's still a chance he doesn't. So
yeah, well, but I think that's where it's like you're no longer like dead set. We need him back. It's like okay,
yeah.
Take your time, but we have a deadline. You got to let us know. Like that's fair. And like if they hire the right coach that Aaron respects, I don't think he's going to pull the thing he did in Green Bay. Like he was still coming off MVP seasons when he's doing that. Like it's not. He doesn't have that leverage. So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see that being an issue. And if he's not going to give them an answer, you just move on from the guy. Like Eileen would bring Rodgers back right now, but one, that could change based on these last 3. And 2, I'm not bending over backwards to keep him. If it's going to be too many hurdles to get it to work, I'll move on.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the fact that if Devontae's here, he's always said he wants to play again with Devontae. So I think another year Devontae might skew him towards coming back. I hope.
Exactly. And he'd have to make a decision pretty quick because Devontae is going to need to know if he's going to extend his deal with the Jets. Because he's not playing on his current contract. He's either cut or they redo his contract. That's going to take place, at some point you'd think in February or early March at the latest.
Quick. Yeah, it can become quickly. Yeah, because I do want Rodgers back only for the fact that if I look at the landscape of the quarterbacks that are free agents or can come here, there's no better option. So, we need him back. So, that's what I got for today, Jake. Fun as always.
Jay Graves, you're one of the greats. Hit the 4% female emoji, baby. The female demo. The 4%ers. Tremendous job by Jay Graves there. Boomtown says, I'm so sick of these excellent takes from Jay Graves. Jay Graves has a chance to go on a run in March, I'm telling you. People like her takes. She brings a no-nonsense, logical approach to the show. I like it. Addison writes in. Addison's got to call this show more. He's on Bobby Midnight show for 27 hours a day. And we don't get enough Addison on this show. Addison could be a great caller. Every great story has a villain. Darth Vader, Joker, Thanos, Voldemort, Allen. I love it. Oh, man. Chuck Dempster says, Jake, how do I call in? You hit the link that is pinned in the description, in the live chat, I should say, and you sign in. And if you're calling from your phone, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. That's how you do it. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now on the Gusbuster hotline is a guy with better internet than anyone ever. Ricky NY is next. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, what's happening, Jake?
Ricky, love the bucket hat, man.
You know, I keep hearing people say that, they don't want the first-time head coach, and I get the logic there, but like back in 2017, a couple of teams hired first-time head coaches. The Rams hired McVay, and the Niners hired Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion that a first-time head coach is going to fail. And I'm sorry, but like the more time goes on, the more I'm getting on board with the Aaron Glenn train. And, I really am liking him as a candidate. And so I'm keeping all my chips on the Agnew Glenn train coming here to New York.
Yeah, look, my thing with the first-time coaches is I'm not going to say it's a death sentence if they were to hire someone that's a first-timer, but I'm sick. I feel like they have a higher percentage chance of getting it right with someone that has been successful previously. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be risk-adverse with these hires because I think they're too damn important. This team hasn't made the playoffs in 14 years. There's still talent on this team. Like, I just think I want to mitigate any rolling of the dice with risk the best I can. If they hire Ben Johnson, am I going to be upset? No. I just would prefer someone with experience. That's why I like Vrabel.
Right, and I think the reason that I more in on Glenn than maybe some people is even though he's a first-time head coach, he was in our scouting department for years. He's familiar with this organization inside and out, and probably has a little bit more intimate knowledge of what some of the things that have gone wrong here is. So therefore, he might have a little bit better idea how to fix some of those issues going forward. It would be my thought. And,
I don't hate Glenn. He's a defensive guy. I in a different world, love Aaron Glenn. Like if Aaron Glenn was like this version of himself 4 years ago, like great, hire him, no issue. But I feel like it's such a risk.
Right. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing unfolds. I mean, Vrabel also is a defensive coach, but he has had success. And man, just to weigh in on Ted's terrible call from yesterday, where he was kind of all over the place. It sounds like he's kind of trying to parrot, Gary and Allen but his win-loss record, with no context whatsoever. He was a winning coach until his idiot GM decided to trade away A.J. Brown, one of the best receivers in the league, which for as far as that goes, God, I really hope that them interviewing Robinson is just due diligence and we aren't seriously considering hiring that guy because we have a number one receiver that needs to get paid and we see what his track record is with that. Not good.
You ain't wrong.
And hopefully, I'm calling in from my phone today, so hopefully the Wi-Fi is better today and not an issue.
I was going to ask, Ricky, this is the best you've sounded.
Yeah, I decided to call in from my phone instead and see. So
what took so long? This is great.
Well, I got a new phone too, so hopefully, maybe moving forward, this will be an issue. I can't solve all my problems at once, and I'm going to give you, Jake Asman, some intimate Ricky NY knowledge that I have never divulged before. But if you can see my background, the apartment that I live in, I won't call it a man cave because the lady is a woman, but my apartment is actually painted red and pewter. The entire walls, all four walls around the place, because she was a Buccaneers fan. So I got my Wi-Fi all sorted out. The next issue of business is talking my landlord into letting me paint this place because, man, this is really hard on the eyes. All this red all around.
Well, you keep us updated on that, Ricky. All right, but I'm telling you, you gotta keep calling in from the phone because this is the best you have ever sounded.
Right on. Well, it sounds good to me. And great show as always. And go Jets.
Go Jets. Ricky NY, everybody. One of the greats. And I could not agree more with Boomtown's comment here. Ricky paving the way for a run in March. I think Ricky could go on a real run. I mean, he's a beloved caller. Diehard Jet fan. Always positive, which is not easy to do when you root for this team. I could see it. Tremendous. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. The guy on the line, once again, has not taken this article of clothing off since the spring of 2004.
B-Mac, look at my TV. B-Mac, I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets, go Jets. Hey, Jake. First of all, I didn't say this yesterday, but I want to pay my respects to the man, the myth, the legend, Keith Best. It's sad to see a GOAT like that pass away. And rest in peace. And you are in a battle war now. So prayers will always be there. Getting down to business. Can you put me on solo because
Hold on.
I gotta call
Hold
out
on.
Peanut.
Hold on. Before you call out Peanut Head, aka Alan, you have yet to reach out so I can connect you with JJ so you guys can go to the game together on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, you want me to give
Send me
him
an
my
email.
phone?
Send me an email.
All right, I do that. I would definitely do that, and I gotta be like Ricky New York and try to call in on my phone, so I just have some good internet service.
Yeah,
But,
why don't you call back? Why don't we do that? So we could properly hear your call out to Peanut Head. All right, I'll put you right back on, but call back from the phone.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, BMAC. All right, we're gonna get down to brass tacks here. All right. While we wait for BMAC, let's get a deep dive, an eyewitness account into the state of the Jets. David T is up next. What's up, David?
Hi, Jake. As much how I'm so hooked on your show. I work a second shift job. I got home last night, and now I am catching up on your show that I miss while I'm working. So, but I mean, it was really cool because you were on with Andrew and talking about Keith, and you know, I'd lost my dad to cancer, and Andrew was so young. I didn't know that. If I have my facts right, because this is so serious, he lost his father a number of years ago. And anyway, as far as you know, Keith Best goes, you know, what a courageous man. And you know, I would be on the show before I originally called in. You know, Keith would get on there, and he was going through his treatments, and you know, your show and the listeners just encouraged him and helped him so much. And he took his situation and took it into the kids, and you know, and I'm sure there's more than a few lifelong Jets fans because of Keith. But you know, I don't want to stay on real long about it. But
No, it's well said, David. And you know, I know Keith loved calling into the show, and you know, any entertainment we could provide for him to try and uplift his spirits as he was battling cancer the way he was. It was an honor. He'll be missed. He really will. He was a great guy.
Yeah, and in closing, I had the Jets Miami game set up. I know he was over in close to Miami, I believe. I had the game set up in June, and so Keith was on the line, and that was one of his, the December game was one of his goals, to get better and get to the game and everything. So when I was at the game, don't think that I didn't think of him a little bit, because we all had high expectations for the Jets and Keith to get better and everything. And in closing, if you ever develop a Asmaniac Hall of Fame, Keith Best gets my vote.
I love it. He should be part of the inaugural class. There's no doubt. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes, all due respect.
David, great take, man. Always good to see you come in and bring it, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great David T. checking in. Kyle Clifton super chatted during the Ricky call. Crystal clear. Ricky, don't look that number. I know. We need Ricky calling from the phone every time. That was great. Also, shout out to Three Siblings Jay. He says, I work like 16 hours a day. I couldn't get through it without these shows. Thank you, Jay. It's just amazing how bad the Jets have been, yet how fun the show could still be at times. And that's because of the people who call in and comment and gift memberships like what Rick did for me to not play the Rex video is one of the funniest things I've seen. It's just stuff like that, man. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, who knows where we go from here with this one? But that's what makes the show the show.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully he's not on the toilet.
Hey Jake, how you doing?
Hey V-Man.
Well, we'll get into the football talk before we get to anything else, all right? How's that sound?
Yes, let's do it.
Well, with the Vrabel, I think this is obviously a good thing because look, you got the Jets who want Vrabel. You have Vrabel who's interested in coming here as long as we can get the GM hire right, and we can bring in a guy that he's comfortable working with, I feel like we're going to be in a very strong position to get him this offseason.
Get me Mike Vrabel with Thomas Dimitroff as the GM, and I will be thrilled.
Absolutely no. Yeah, like I said, look, with his Titan teams, they were competitive. They could win tight games. But everybody remembers like that masterclass that he put on when he ended the Patriots in the 2019 playoffs. Just like how he used Bill Belichick's own methods against him, and that made me laugh. Like that was just masterclass in coaching right there.
Yeah, look, the guy has proven to be a very good coach. I'm not saying he's the best coach in the league. I'm not saying he fixes everything, but I will take my chance on a guy that had success not that long ago with quarterback play that is not great. Like Ryan Tannehill is an average at best quarterback in his career. And Mike Vrabel got the absolute most out of him, hired 2 good OCs. He's won playoff games. Like, maybe they could hire Liam Cohen and he's the next Sean McVay. Or maybe he sucks, right? And it'd end up not working. I want to take my chance with a guy with experience. I am sick of these guys who have never done it. They get eaten alive, and New York kills them. And also, Jay, you bring up Tannehill's one great year statistically. Now do the other years, and stop trying to tell me that Ryan Tannehill was great. He had an outlier year like Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2015. He's an average to slightly above average quarterback in his heyday. It's not like he was winning with great quarterback play in Tennessee. That wasn't what made that team successful.
The other thing about Vrabel is, I think also he's perfect because he's a bit crazy. And I think you got to be a bit crazy to take New York.
Yeah, you know what he said once? He said he'd chop off his manhood to win a Super Bowl. That's the kind of coach I want.
Exactly. Like I said, let's be honest. The coaches we've had, the greatest coaches in New York sports history are a bit let's just say eclectic.
Like
you think about Bill Parcells.
Because it sucks to lose, Gentry.
Trey ever need to show you anything?
Did you have another thought, or no? I'm just curious.
Well,
It
wanna win,
fucking
you-
sucks. Losing. Awful. That's why I want to win. Because you don't sleep. You want to win for the players that bust their tail. That's it.
I mean, we can list off some of the coaches in New York.
All right. Fucking Gentry. I want to get him on the show. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, but like I said, let's list off all the coaches in this history of New York sports that are like, eccentric, eclectic. Parcells was definitely that. Rex Ryan was definitely that. We're just using all New York's, let's see. Billy Martin was definitely that. The list goes on and on. Generally, the coaches that have come in New York and have thrived are the ones that are, quirky. Let's just a little quirky, and I think that's the type of coach that. Yeah, it definitely had his moments that were like that. I can't think of any others because I think Girardi was a bit out. I think Girardi could have his moments where he just exploded. I mean, nowhere near like back in the day.
They have energy, and there's a culture of accountability the guys you have mentioned brought.
Exactly, Exactly. So now let's just get to the off-topic stuff because I know you guys saw my coquito, but now I'm going to give you my recipe for coquito.
Now let's get to the off-topic stuff. Okay, here we go, V-Man. What do you got for us?
Well, obviously, there are a lot of recipes, but I've just modified ones I found online. So, of course, obviously, the key ingredient because this coquito is obviously your cream of coconut. Now, traditionally, you would probably use a Coco Lopez, but this is the one that I found. You can use this or Coco Lopez. You're going to have to blend this because it's a bit chunky inside. But 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 3 cans of evaporated milk. You're gonna obviously need your bottle. So I put the label on it. Your cinnamon stick, which goes in the bottle.
How about butterscotch?
Now, not butterscotch. Then you obviously dash of you sprinkle in ground cinnamon.
Cincinnati asked, who asked for this info?
Dash of ground nutmeg. And of course, your most important part of the ingredient. Anybody who wants to just mix up their holiday tradition with some traditional something else. Come on, do you guys really want to drink eggnog or something that's better?
V-Man, can you please slowly say again what this recipe is for?
Coquito. All right, and then now the most important part is your white rum. Now, you can go with any white rum, but you're probably going to want to go with a Puerto Rican one. So I traditionally go with Don Q Crystal. And that's your recipe. And it's pretty simple. You just throw everything into a blend. You can throw it in a blender. Well, definitely you want to blend this because this is like I said, very chunky. To get it into it's creamy, get it to cream. Or like I said, but then everything else you can just throw it in a mixing bowl. And with the rum, there's no amount you need to add. You just add it until you like the taste. And that's pretty much my recipe for coquito. And
Bill M says those mutton chops are filling in.
Yeah, that's my recipe. So Richie, with this lesson in place, are you gonna go make some for your family?
Probably not, because I don't cook.
It's not cooking. It's just mix it. It's just mixology, man.
Yeah, but I'm not a mixologist. I'm more of a capologist.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Buy just the cheap ass Bacardi pre-made shit?
Ryad says, V-Man, you should be a Puerto Rican tour guide.
Well, I could because my tour guide in Puerto Rico couldn't speak Spanish either.
I stand with a super chat. It's called Cremela de V in Cuba. It's absolutely delicious. Let it sit with the cinnamon in the bottle for 2 days. Otherwise, it won't taste spiced.
I didn't know Cubans have their own spin on it, but yeah, in Puerto Rico it's called poquito, and yeah, we do put the cinnamon in the bottle. But I guess that's probably Spanish Caribbean culture is generally intertwined with one another. So a lot of the stuff is similar between Cuba, Puerto Rico, La República Dominicana. So yeah, a lot of it's similar. But I think that's all, Jake. So I got some things to do. So talk to you later, man.
You got things to do. Now I'm curious. What's on the agenda today?
Well, I gotta finish making the second batch of poquito. I got decorating to do.
Okay.
And then I gotta get ready for work.
All right. Well, V-Man, excellent job, buddy. Appreciate the call.
Right. Bye.
That's the end of that V-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
V-Man. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy said he was going to call back from his phone, but he didn't.
B-Mac. Look at my TV. B-Mac. I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets. Go Jets.
What happened, V-Mac?
Yeah, I sorry for the Lions. Yeah, I, too much, I didn't know how to do it. I guess, so I just figured that, I gotta leave soon because I have to go to work. So I just figure out when I get home. But I really want to get out to a peanut head.
Also, I've just accepted you're never going to actually email me your info. So this thing with JJ is not going to happen.
It might happen. Maybe not this week. Well, I'm busy this week because I'm preparing for the holidays.
Then why didn't you just say that yesterday instead of leading us down this path that you and JJ were going to go to the game together?
Well, I didn't want to hurt JJ's feelings.
Just say you're busy. You couldn't go. It's not the biggest deal in the world if you say you can't drive down from Massachusetts for the day.
All right. Well, I'm busy and I can't go. So
thank you. JJ. All right. Now feel free to call out Peanut Head. Go ahead.
But me and JJ are still cool and still tight. But yeah, I just wanted to say this to Peanut Head. Peanut Head. That was uncalled for what you did yesterday to Rob. He wasn't saying that Rodgers is better than Josh. Clearly, Josh is the better quarterback and way better. It's not even close right now. Josh is playing great football, and they might get to Super Bowl and win it. I don't have them going, but it's looking like the way they're playing. But he was just comparing the numbers and the numbers are a little bit identical than what people wanted to admit it to. That's what he was trying to say. He's not trying to say he was trying to. But yeah, there's my 6'9" hat. But I do want to, call him out on this. Choose, Peanut Head. Choose who you want to be. Do you want to be a Josh Allen Buffalo Bills fan? Do you want to be a Detroit Lions fan? Or do you want to be a Jets fan? You can't have it all three. All right. You can't be a triplet fan. You have to be one fan only. All right. Stop it with the Josh Allen and Bills bandwagon, and then you a Lions bandwagon. I mean, people call me fraud, but Peanut Head, you know what, Peanut Head, come on right now and face me like a man did. You know what I mean? And let's try to talk this out like men, because you want to call me a fraud for being a Packer fan for coming on, but it seems like you are the biggest fraud, and it seems like you are exposing yourself every single time you come on here. Oh, Josh Allen, I get why you like Josh Allen, because you got the same name technically, Josh Allen, and maybe you should come on here, have with a Detroit Lions hat, Josh Allen jersey, and maybe a Jets wide receiver gloves, because Allen, you are a flip flop. You are you're like a hot potato. You don't know, who you want to identify yourself as. So I just want to get that out there. And if you're gonna go after Rob, you have to go after me too.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Hello, B-Mac. I did not like what you said to Alan yesterday. You wanted to put him in a coma the other day. Did not like
Bobby,
that.
I love you, Bobby. I love you, Bobby. I love you, Bobby. And I've always loved you. But screw
that's
him.
violent. That's being
Screw
violent.
Alan.
You cannot be violence. No, you cannot
Screw
be violent.
him. Screw him.
No.
All right. He's not Bobby. He's using you, Bobby.
I should have
He's not
bet.
your
I
friend.
should have bet that you weren't coming down to the game. I should have put money on that. I should have.
Bobby. He's using you.
No, he's not.
Peanut Head is using you. Yes, he is. He's using you.
No, he's
Trust
not.
me. That's not a real friend. All right.
No,
I'm your friend. All right. B-Man's your friend. Jake's your friend.
Oh yeah, he comes on my show more than you come on my show. So
we all but he's doing that so he can be relevant.
So
Bobby.
where have you
He's
been
doing
on
that so
my
he
show?
can
You haven't
make
been on my
money
show
and be
lately
relevant.
at all. I haven't seen you for like 4 months on my show. Where have you been?
I would love to come on your show tonight. I would love to come on your show tonight.
Oh, okay. We'll see about that. We'll see. All right.
All right.
Well,
I'll
just don't talk violent to people. You're not supposed to do that on Jake's show. That's not good.
Well,
Talking
I hold myself accountable. You know me. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
a
you
little bit too
better.
audio, but guess what? Peanut Head. I would never like Peanut Head. All right, never. All right,
Well,
screw
that's
him,
your
screw him.
problem. That's your
All right,
problem. I
screw him.
changed my view on Alan. So
Bobby,
Goodbye.
he's using you.
J-E-T-S,
Jets. He's using you. All right, he's using you. Peanut Head is just using you for money and scheme. That's all he is. Oh, hey Gary.
What's up?
What's up, my man?
I'm not sure why I'm on. I wasn't even. I was
Yeah,
half
neither.
paying attention, half doing work. What's up?
Yeah, I was expecting Peanut Head, but I guess he's a chicken to come in and talk to me. So, I don't know what he's doing.
I don't really have anything prepared. I don't know what did you call me out? I was only like half paying attention.
No, I didn't say nothing
Okay.
about you. I didn't say a word about you. So I don't know why Jake put you on. Oh, I'm the biggest clown. Oh, Mr. All right, come in. All right. Well, what about you, Mr. Brooklyn born lean? What about you come on here and say it to my face? Have some guts. All right, be a man and come on there and say it to my face. All right, and stop hiding behind a keyboard. All right, stop being a keyboard warrior. All right. See, at least Peanut Head got bars to come in here and confront me. But some of these guys, man, that just hide behind the keyboard and just hide behind the chat. And y'all are cowards. Like y'all cowards, man. Like y'all cowards. Like y'all say it behind the chat, but y'all can't go on and show your face by saying it. We call that cowards. Thank you, my man. Thank you, I appreciate that. What's up, Nate? Nate the Great. What up, Nate the Great? B. Simmons, man. I really want to like you, but you gotta stop hating on it. Hey, Rod, man. You gotta stop hating on it. BW Michael. Oh, I don't know who that is, but Boomtown. I hope you gonna put me on the list of Boomtown. I'm hoping I'm top 10. Top 10.
Knockouts don't matter if you land enough jabs. I mean, you can do a music.
I got nothing for you.
I'll
don't.
get-
I don't fully understand Jake's sense of humor. Like I'm like I don't know if he thinks this is gonna embarrass me. I don't fully get it. But
Yeah, Jake is now
how's it
not
going?
going around because
I
I
don't-
don't know why, Oh, Dave, Dave, I don't respond to irrelevant people like you, Dave. unless you're jumping in fake Dave. See, Dave is a wild card because I don't know what Dave I'm getting. I don't know if I'm getting real Dave or fake Dave or like yesterday I got fake Dave. Now today I might get real Dave. Like can the real Dave please stand up? Can the real Dave please stand up? Because right now y'all see the real B-Mac. Right? I don't know the real Dave. Dave, maybe used to be on Slim Shady's music video. Jay Grave, I know who you are, Jay Grave. Jay Grave, Dave can't even touch a can. Dave, Noah. See, my mom told me to don't put my don't put my hands on my elders. So I'm gonna be so I'm gonna be respectful and not try to, because I don't want to hurt Dave. Dave seems like a valuable guy. I don't want to hurt him. You know what I mean? I don't. But no, if Dave wants to go for a couple rounds, I mean, I know he said he used to be a hockey player from like what 19.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac. Yeah, ladies, you can do music.
How dare he's back? Jake.
It's your side. I don't really get it. I'm gonna do work. If you got something for me, I'll be happy to respond. But I was just waiting a hole for Jake.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. I was gonna say to Gary. Gary, have you ever been to a butter factory?
No.
Butter
Am I
factory.
still on? Yeah, I know. I've never been to a butter factory. I don't think. No. I think I do remember that. I've never been to. Have you been to a butter factory?
Well, no, but I'm pretty sure they have a butter factory. I don't
You
know
know they
what butter
do. I mean, that's where butter is made. I've never been to one though.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah, butter
interesting
factory.
to me is Bobby lost 6 pounds in a week. Right?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's losing a pound a day. And Jake will try to play it off as if it has nothing to do with his diet instead of taking an L and learning. It's indicative.
Bobby lost weight because he is exercising, cut out soda, and is eating way healthier. If he had less butter sticks, he'd lose even more weight. That's the difference. Anyway, we'll continue with the show right now. But Jay Graves, you nailed it. I was laughing my ass off. Easton says, Butter Factory is just an Amish household. Unreal. Kyle Clifton says, MVP race. Lamar, Darnold, Saquon, Allen. Allen's got to be, if not the favorite, Kyle, he's got to be right behind Lamar. He can't be fourth. No way. No way. Lamar's having a better year statistically this year than last year, but it's hard to go back-to-back. Darnold's been great, but he's not going to win it. Look at the system he's in. Look at the players around him, the coach. He's not going to get it. And Saquon had a chance. There was momentum for it, but I think it's going to be tough for a running back to win that award. Kyle writes in, manhood chop is more badass than a kneecap bite. Just get me someone that wins, man. Dante writes in, we talk about who we want as a GM and head coach, but do you have a favor for OC or DC you'd like to see hired for the Jets? Well, it depends the coach they hire first, Dante. I'll give you Mike Vrabel's coaching staff I'd love to see. You tell me he hires Brian Dable as his offensive coordinator? Sign me up for that. Or someone like that, you know? But you got to see who the coach is. It's impossible. Also, someone in the chat, did I shout out Jeffrey when he get to the 5 memberships? I think I did, but I just want to make sure. Nate checks in with a super chat. Thanks for the membership, Rick Kent. Boxing is not a sport, Gary. 1 stick of butter a day is one too many. Stiggers, CB2, Rogers, QB1. 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now on the Gus Buster Umbrella Hotline to respond to this and to make his point is the director of butter operations. Hello, Gary.
It is funny. That is good work by your man Gator. It's good work.
Also, we have a real problem here. Dave Briga is considering not being involved in Jet content if BMAC remains on the show. I've had it. He's only a prop.
Like, I like Dave Briga. Is that a threat? You're a grown man. If you don't want to be on the show anymore, you don't want to call in, I need Jet show, just leave, right? Like, there are times that I have to take a break. It just gets too much. It gets too toxic with the butter debate. I got to take a couple days off. I don't announce it. I don't say, hey, I'm going to leave. Let's take a couple days off,
This is interesting because I like Dave Briga a lot, but I feel like you can't leave the show over BMAC calling in.
Well, like, check it out, though, right? Like, you have a little brother. You can bust your little brother's balls. You can make fun of your little brother. What if an outsider does it? Now we got a problem, don't we? Like, that's kind of how the Jet fans feel. Like, we can make fun of the Jets. We can say the Jets suck. We can rip on the Jets. You can't because you're not a Jets fan, right? So, like, that's how people feel about being. I'm not saying I'm one of them. I think it's fine. You can call him as much as, but like, do you get why people would be irritated about him when we're 4-10? I gotta help my wife. I'll be back. I'll come back.
Really?
Yeah.
Butter? Thank you, Gary. How was that? BMAC's been here a long time. So I would say, Dave, if you got to leave the show, take a break, that's all good. But I am laughing at this whole thing. BMAC, you might win. If you keep going at Dave, you might leave the show. You might get what you want. All right, more of your calls right now. We'll go to Triple M and then the Hamburger, our next two in line. What's up, Triple M?
What's going on, Jake?
How are you?
Pretty good. I just wanted to touch base about the GM debate. Like, I'm just like you. I wanted to see Vrabel also, but I'm intrigued by Joe Brady, and I'm hoping
Bill's offensive coordinator. Yep.
Yeah, I've wanted him on the staff or in the organization since he came off that big championship year at LSU. But
I think you should get an interview. I think if you're going to talk about offensive-minded coaches, you should definitely get an interview.
Yeah, that would be good. Has Vrabel been showing any interest in return? I know that seems to be whoever all of us want. I mean, he hasn't said anything besides what he said the other day, right?
All we know is that Rich Cimini had that report that people in Vrabel's camp have said that he definitely would be interested in the job. Like there was a thought he would not even take the interview because, he wouldn't want to work for Woody because he's tight with Belichick, and Belichick would say no. But given what we now know, that Belichick is so desperate, he reached out to Woody to try and interview for the job. I think it only increases the likelihood that not only are they going to get a chance to interview Vrabel, they might have a chance to hire him if they give him what he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, they should make him at least top 5 highest paid coach in the league. That's the thing. Woody's always been kind of cheap about how he pays his coaches. So,
but I don't know if that's true though. Woody's never been afraid to write a check. Joe Douglas was one of the highest paid GMs in the league. Saleh at the time was one of the highest paid first time coaches. Money's never been Woody's problem. You could get on him for a lot of things, but he's always spent money.
Well, I hope he breaks the checkbook out in this case. Then
he has to. Look, you got to pay a jet tax. So you want to get the top candidate, you got to money whip him. Like Juan Soto's a Met, not because he believed in the vision or Steve Cohen is going to treat him like family. He gave him $805 million. Like you got to pay top dollar if you want top dollar.
Yeah, that was a kick in the nuts too. Yeah, because I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to hold on to Juan Soto, but
it's all about the dollar, man. That's it.
Yeah, you should stop having your man up here like that, man. I mean, no, I know that's your guy and all, man. But
Which
he's
guy?
frauding it up. Why did he waste everybody? Why did he waste everybody's time yesterday with the great debate as to whether or not he was going to make that 5-hour drive down on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I called him on that. I was annoyed.
Okay.
I'm like, why are you telling us that you're going to go to the game with JJ and then just say you're busy? That's it.
What ended up happening? How did JJ end up extending the tickets in the first place?
I think JJ just wanted to do something nice. You know, BMAC said they're brothers, and JJ's like, okay, come with me to the game.
Do you see where the whole fraud element comes in? You already jumped on his squad, and then JJ was the head of the Get You Up Out of Here committee, and now they're brothers. You see where the conundrum comes in at, right?
You know what? It's one of those things where, you know, BMAC's a polarizing figure. I mean, you'll see the chat, Triple M, for every time he's on. There's people that hate the guy. There's people that love him. You know, there's people saying, I'm Team BMAC.
I'm Team Allen all the way. All right. I'll catch you next time, Jake. Great talk.
Triple M, you always have great calls, man. Call back, whatever. You're a great caller. Love it. Alan, speaking of the devil, a $10 super chat. Anytime, anywhere. I will knock the stupid out of you, BMAC. And trust me, that won't take long. Go, Joshy. Well, it's just unbelievable turn of events on this show today. Alan, thank you for the super chat, though. Unreal. BMAC's a polarizing figure. I'm a BMAC guy. Jay writes in, BMAC's a regular. If y'all want Rodgers, we have to keep BMAC. BMAC is pledged to keep calling even without Rodgers, though. BMAC, if you're still on the line and you want to respond to Alan, the floor is yours. Wait, that's fair. Cincy Matt with a super chat here. Brigger, there's two halves to the show. The first half, Jet Show. Second half, Shit Show. Sometimes that is true, yes. Especially when the team is 4-10. Three Siblings Jay says, pot stirrer Jake. Well, you guys know where I went to college. The Ted in Florida School of Pot Stirring. I graduated top of my class. And Ted has put on a master class at stirring the pot with his garbage Vrabel takes the last few shows. I think Ted's watching. Yep, he wrote it, Ted you. Ted, that's a great comment. Ted you. That's funny. More of your calls right now. Philly Eagles is next. What's up, Philly?
What's going on, bro? Yeah, listen, Ted U, that's a bad university. No. You graduated pot shit stirring. Not Ted U. Get the out of here with that. Listen, I'm back at work. We're in we're testing out bricks here. We're seeing what happened with brick and old brick. I mean, there's stains on our bricks. You know, it's pure shit. We try to solvent to get out of it, dissolvents. We're trying to manufacture. How can we win out here in this underground bunker? I could tell you, I forget what year it is. If it's 2 years from now, we're working on the grounds, right, to change the field. So this is all the samples of good soils we're testing. You know, just making it happen with Woody Johnson. Because I think Woody needs to make that happen for a coach to feel really good when they get here. Vrabel will feel better.
Philly.
And the gold shovel here, this is to get us out of the shit. See that? I want Vrabel to dig us out of there. Get us out of there. That's what Vrabel's going to use. I should mail this to him. To get the shit, to dig out the bullshit, and bury it forever. We can do that with Ted and BMAC. BMAC's takes are getting a little bit, it's weird where he calls somebody out and then he loves JJ. I don't like it. It got a little awkward. I think Allen's right. They should fight. I don't know how, but it should happen.
I want to see Dave Brigger and BMAC fight. That's the fight I want to watch.
Brigger is Cagney. He wants him gone and done and over with. He hates he hates him. That's a pure hatred. That's a good hatred.
No, there's real hatred there.
It's
there's real bad blood. Yeah, they call him One Punch Dave Brigger for a reason. So I want to see it.
I remember that, the one punch. Yeah, Ted. I think me and Ted should just. I would go at it with Ted, not in a physical sense, just with enough opposite takes of his trash takes, just real takes. I want to real take him to trash take him. I want to take him to town with all the bullshit he comes out of his mouth. And he does it on multiple channels. That's the scary part. And he's a nice guy, but he does it on multiple channels. Let's trade everybody and burn it all down. He wants a Jet alumni because what really pisses me off with that take is, okay, listen, you want a head coach that comes in here, and we could talk about McVay, how you mentioned, and other guys. They were offensive-minded gurus. That's why they got their shots, and they've been to playoffs because of offensive-mindedness. I mean, Aaron Glenn's going to do what? Teach you how to sack and blitz? Like, that's...
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Ted,
Hey,
why is
Philly,
Aaron Glenn the best option?
What's up, bro?
What's up, dude?
Listen. I'm willing to keep an open mind about Vrabel. I'm not going to pound the table anymore about how he let running back carry the ball 300 times anymore.
Yeah,
I won't bring that up. Why? Because he played with the Jets. There's a great culture in Detroit. He's young. He can relate to the players better. And I actually was reading online about why Vrabel was basically fired. I know he had a GM that was forced down his throat, but supposedly it was sort of like Brian Flores in a way. A lot of the players weren't really appreciating his Patriot hardline stance. So that's basically where I'm at.
So my reverse that is, look what we just had in the building. We just had Saleh, who was the ultimate excuse maker for every player. He pampered them to the point where they got so soft, we're questioning if Sauce Gardner is worth draft picks by you as a fan. Can you imagine that? That's where we got to. His mind became a melted saucepan.
No, I never said he wasn't worth it. I said I would only trade him if you got a first for him. That's what I said.
But no, what do you understand what I'm saying? We got to the point where fans are questioning, should we trade the best talent on our team because they became soft. The team became soft under Saleh, unfortunately.
I got you. I agree with that. But let me say this, Philly. Ricky NY actually said we should draft a corner from Michigan, and I agree with him. Number one corner, because the guy is physical, he can tackle, and I really don't know what Sauce is. I think he's a fringe one. Yeah, but I don't know if he's a true one. I don't know.
He is.
I really don't.
He is. He's a true one. They don't want to throw his side of the field, and half the time they did this year. And first off, how we were giving Aaron Rodgers the key to the, hey, I've been injured all season. Sauce Gardner, if you can just look at all the plays, he looks like he's been limping around for half a season with that ankle. I'm going to be honest with you. You could tell. But he's a gamer. The kid missed no games in Cincinnati. So he comes into the NFL. He's an all-pro, all-rookie defensive winner. He doesn't want to get off the field. So now you got to drag him off for one game, comes back, interception. Shitty team, I get it. But it is what it is.
That was a pop fly to the shortstop. I mean, I could have caught that. I'm almost 60. I could have caught that.
You know how many guys dropped that? Ted, you know how many guys dropped that in the NFL because they're looking to run?
Say that again?
You know how many guys dropped that ball? You know how many guys dropped that ball in the NFL looking to run with it first? That's the truth.
One out of 100.
Though.
One out of 100.
Okay, well, it'll be the time that he dropped it, and it'll be on our team. Listen, I'll tell you this, man. Aaron Glenn, I can understand where, we're having the sympathy reel right now of fans saying, we need a Jet guy, so bring Rex back. That was the first dire need, right? Now it's dying out. Now it's bring Aaron Glenn because he was a Jet. Then it was Curtis Martin for VP. That makes sense. Bring in a guy who knows the culture because he's going to go into the offices. That makes sense.
Well, I never mentioned Carol.
Then bringing in a first-time head coach.
Yeah, but he's capable of, obviously, he under Dan Campbell, he has the Jet. Okay, I get it. I have a bias for a Jet coach. I agree.
Listen, I think you do. A lot of fans do, bro.
Yeah,
You're
it
not
doesn't
one
make
of one.
Mike Vrabel, and I never said Mike Vrabel was a bad coach. I just think, based on the culture of the Jets, it would be better to have an Aaron Glenn over a Vrabel. That's just my opinion. If people want to trash me over my opinion, I don't really care, really. So, but I get it.
So, what's your next option if it's not those two? You understand? Let me ask you that. Let's say we can't get Vrabel, and we couldn't get Glenn. Have you thought that far? You see your bias. It's like Jets only. Rex Ryan.
I would go. I would go with Rex. I would put Vrabel as
There it
3.
is. Oh no, come
Yeah.
on, man. I'll take Leo Cohen. Liam Cohen. I'll take Cohen if he ever
You
became
want?
available.
Yeah. Well, Liam Cohen is. I
First
live in
time.
Tampa.
Okay.
I know what he's doing, but I get it. He's an offensive, but who's the quarterback and everything else too? That's the question.
Well,
Is
let's
Aaron
say
the
they keep
quarterback?
AR. Let's
Mhm.
say they keep AR just because they're worried there's nothing else out there. I honestly think with Liam Cohen, he can get anything out of multiple quarterbacks because he's doing it again with Baker, which Baker's proven to be good, period, end of story. And then the same thing with no. The
Hello,
guy
Gary. I am going to kill you because you eat only butter. You need a salad like me.
All right. That was a pretty good back and forth between Ted and Philly Noodles. Very civil Jet debate there. God. Now, I did see this comment here that I want to explore a little further from the great Dave Briga. Bobby is the only content person who holds Bernard accountable. Dave, tell me what I need to do to hold Bernard accountable. This is a free speech program. We give everyone an opportunity to come on and argue their point, call out a different listener. But the whole Asmaniac Rumble idea was fostered because I was tired of the keyboard warriors in the chat going at it. So let's put you both on screen and let's duke it out. Those are the questions I want. Dave, you let me know how I can hold Bernard accountable, and I will take your comments under advisement because I respect you, Dave Briga. Kyle Clifton says Vrabel let Derrick Henry carry 300 times, and now he's at 1,500 yards. Yeah, I mean, Ted loses the Vrabel argument for a variety of reasons, but I thought one of the dumber takes he made was, well, Derrick Henry, look how much he ran. And it's like, okay, well, the year they were 12-5 and they were the 1 seed, Derrick Henry missed half the season that year, and they still had a great offense with a bunch of running backs who aren't even in football right now. That was in 2021. It wasn't that long ago. He's a good coach. A good coach takes the talent they have, and they build a game plan that you can win with it. That's what Mike Tomlin does every year. Hennessy says DJ Reed gives him 150 yards a game. He's CB1. I like DJ Reed. He has not been the same, just like Sauce, since they fired Salah. That's a fact. And he commits a ton of penalties, more than Sauce. He's been a very good Jet, but they're not going to pay him. He's going to be, going to his age 29 or age 30 season. Not going to happen. J-Rod, Jake, did you see the sack exchange, Doc? I did. I wish it was a little longer. It was only like 55 minutes. I watched it on Sunday before the Jet game. I enjoyed it. Ted says Vrabel is no Tomlin. Yeah, man, we know. No one's Tomlin. If you think the Jets are hiring the next Mike Tomlin, good luck. Pretty high bar to find a Hall of Fame coach. But Mike Vrabel's got the best resume out of anyone that is potentially available. Chuck writes in, Jake, why are you high on Sauce? I would literally trade him for anything at this point. Why am I high on a guy who's a former two-time first-team All-Pro and still, despite a quote-unquote down year, if you look at his coverage grades out as one of the best corners in the NFL? Why am I high on that guy? Gee, I wonder why.
Just shut the fuck up. I did not ask for the dim opinion that came out of your ass, so shut the fuck up.
Moron. Hamburger, up next. What's up, Hamburger?
What's up? What a show.
What time. Thanks for waiting, Hamburger.
No problem, man. No problem at all. Listen, first off, my heart goes out to the family of Keith. As a new listener, I don't really know him very well, but as a fellow Asmaniac, my heart goes out to his family. Never a good situation. So, but it's funny, it's Jake. Watching your thought of Aaron change over the last few weeks, and that's why I think I like you so much, and why I like the show so much, is because you're able to take what you see and make a a determination. You're not held on one decision in your mind.
Yeah,
So
I want to my whole thing with this show and why I like this format so much on YouTube is like on TV or on radio, it's like you have your take and then no one ever admits, hey, I was wrong, or hey, there's new info. I'm willing to evolve or change my opinion. Like I'm a Jet fan first and foremost. I want what's best for the Jets. A couple weeks ago, it looked like Aaron Rodgers, there was no path he'd be here next year, and he sucks. When there's new information, my opinion's going to change. Like, I'm not going to die. Like, I used to be called a Zach Wilson truther. No, I was a Jet fan who wanted to be patient and not throw the guy away after his rookie year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want what's best for the Jets. I'm a fan. So, like,
that's the same as me.
Yeah.
I do the same. I that's why I always say, wait and see. You know, as I feel right now, I want him back next year. But, we wait it out. We see what it's going to progress over the last couple games. Right now, what I see is a guy that wants to come back. So you're going to look at Aaron this week. I think he's going to come out firing. So
I hope so. If he does that against the Rams defense in the cold at home, that would be telling.
I did watch the first episode of Enigma last night. It's painful to watch again. It's painful to watch.
I know. I haven't watched it yet, and the first episode is going to cover all the hype and excitement of last year, and then him going. I can't. I don't want to relive that, so I haven't watched it yet.
It's good, but it's painful.
Yeah.
But listen, since we did win last weekend, and I know I failed on the last one, for to sing my song, but it's a lot harder to do a cappella. But I'll do it for you guys, and I'm going to give you guys a half of my Eddie Vedder Pearl Jam Black that I know.
Oh.
So let me get you the hair. All right. So a little nervous. So anybody need a singer for a band? I'm here. All right. Ready? She's so empty canvas, untouched sheets of clay. Her legs spread out before me, as her body once did. Through all five horizons, revolve the sun. As he up to the sun, I'll be here. I taste and I breathe has taken a turn. And all I daughter wants everything. I know she gives me all that she wore. And now my bitter hands cradle broken glass of what was everything. All the pictures have all been watching black, tattooed everything. I'm not going to take up the whole song, but I said I'd give you something. There you go.
Hamburger, job well done.
Thank you.
Job well done. Now, before you go, a comment has emerged from Gary in the private chat. Ask Hamburger if Bobby should change his diet after losing 6 pounds in a week.
No, I think Bobby should cut out he's eating better, period, end of story. That's how it works. But the fact is, if he's eating a stick of butter every day, that's not going to be good on his health-wise. You know what I mean? He's taking out calories. He's taking out soda. All those things like that are going to disappear. Within the first 3 or 4 weeks, he's going to be able to lose 20 pounds right off the bat. That's the easiest thing to do, is to lose that bloated, all the water weight that you hold, and all that crap from eating all this, drinking all the soda and having all that. It's after that is where it becomes a problem. And it's where it becomes harder. You only lose, a pound here and a pound there. So it gets tougher as it goes. But listen, Bobby, keep doing what you're doing. Eat right. Stay away from sodas. Stay away from the carbs. Get some veggies in. Get that steak in there. Eat some chicken, turkey. Just keep doing what you're doing. Get healthy, man.
He's got to get his fat from somewhere. He's eating a lot of turkey and chicken, which is great. That's good. A lot of protein. But he's got to get fat somewhere. There's no fat in chicken and turkey. So he's got to eat. Where would you like him to get his fat from? That's not going to give him carbs and sugar. Where should he get it from?
I already said steak too. Eat
But he
steak.
doesn't- yeah, no. If you eat just steak, you're good. He doesn't really like steak, so he's not going to stick to a diet he doesn't like.
Every single second of the day. You don't have to pound your body with butter. Listen, dude, he's doing the right thing. I'm not saying he doesn't have to. Like he's doing. I'm not trying to be a dick. Just he's doing the right thing, but I don't think he should be having a stick of butter every day. But I'm not his nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. Neither are you. I think when he's eating his diet,
I don't understand what being a doctor has to do with it.
You get his blood test.
Medical error is one of the 5 leading causes of death in this country. I wouldn't take a doctor's advice on what to eat. I would take a nutritionist's advice on what to eat, right? Like,
if he's going to a doctor for any health reasons, he should see his doctor and he'll recommend a nutritionist. That's it.
okay,
Not
that's fine. That's fine. A guy who thrives on me being sick, who makes money off giving me prescriptions, maybe not the best advice for day-to-day health. Just saying.
I say to go to a dietitian, right?
A dietitian? That would be better. Yeah.
When he's on his diet, make sure that his blood work and everything's great. Make sure the diet's doing the right thing for his body. And if it is, and if everything's great, stick with it. If not, and he has issues, he might have to see a nutritionist to try to work out what's going on with his body. Every single human being is different. So
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say the same thing.
Just say it's whatever. I'm all for Gary for Bobby getting healthy, but if he's seeing a doctor and he has some health issues, he should talk to his physician to figure out what he should be, what he should not be eating, things to look out for.
Let me address John. Let me address John's comment real quick.
Do what you're doing. Keep exercising. Eat right. It's all great.
Let me address John's comment. Right now, Bobby is in ketosis. It's because he doesn't exercise that he has to have a high-fat diet. He has to, because right now he's burning ketones. He's burning fat. Okay. If he was eating carbs, he'd be burning sugar.
So he's counting his macros. He's doing all that every day. Like he's
right now, his body. The reason why he feels great is because he's eating butter. Because his body's in ketosis. He's running on ketones. Like that comment is asinine.
Have a plan. It's like it's weighed out. It's measured out. Your macros are measured out. You can't just give him a few things to eat and go, oh, now he's in ketosis, but he's not. So
he is in ketosis.
How do you know
he wouldn't be burning a pound a day without exercise if he wasn't in ketosis.
All you do is stop soda, stop eating shit, and you're gonna lose that.
He's not drinking 6 pounds of soda a week.
So stop. Dude, you're arguing with a guy that's been training since I'm fucking 21 years old.
So why? I've been making weight since I'm 10 years old. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I can find.
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter. Yeah, lady, you can do it.
It's not the end.
12 pounds today if I wanted to.
It's fucking hundreds of them. So stop. It's a good diet. It's cool if you're working out. It's great. Carnivore diet. We've all done it. It's great. But there's 100 other diets too. So stop thinking this is the end all.
There are other diets.
Like stop, bro.
It's not just the weight loss, right? It's not just the weight. His feet no longer hurt because the inflammation is down, right? He's sleeping through the night. His energy levels are high. So it's not just he's losing weight. Crackheads and anorexic prostitutes lose weight.
All right, I'm done. This is like arguing in circles. I'm agreeing with you on points all over the place, Gary. But you take it to one level, and it's only Gary's way is right. Like I said, he should see a doctor if he has health issues. Make sure his blood works great. Then, if he has issues, see a dietitian that could actually prescribe him what he should be eating to have his body function properly. That's it.
So, okay, right now, what I'm saying is what he's doing is obviously working. It's not just the weight loss. Let me finish. It's not just the weight loss. His inflammation is down. The aches and pains in his feet are gone. He's sleeping through the night. He's got energy levels higher than in the past, right? What he's doing is working. I'll just put this question out there. You said he should eat steak. He doesn't like steak. Are you more likely to stick to a diet you don't like or a diet that you do like? Just being realistic.
You made a great point, Gary. Made a great point. Since he can't eat steak and he has issues eating certain foods, right? Don't you think it would be best best to go see his doctor. Continue eating right now the way he is. Go see his doctor or go see a new dietitianist to figure out exactly what he needs to be doing properly for his body and whatever has going on. Not just a YouTube carnivore diet that you don't know what's going on with his blood levels. That's the only thing I'm saying. To say that he's eating butter and fixes everything, probably not the case. He needs, as a person that is overweight, that has health issues, needs to see a dietitian. Period.
I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is all of the advice I've given him is proven to work for thousands of years. It's the way people have eaten for thousands of years, minus the last 40, right? There's nothing crazy about what I'm saying. I'm not saying you should eat
like we did when we were cavemen anymore, bro. It's 2024. We're going back BC, bro. That's when we ate like that. Like, come on.
What's wrong with? Yeah, we did. We did the first recorded. Hang on, the first recorded medical heart attack in the history of the country was 1912. That means for most
by being the fix all of everything. Stop, dude.
You say that, yeah. People didn't die of heart attacks. People didn't die of diabetes 200 years ago. It didn't happen.
Like, let's come on. Stop.
But explain to me what negative consequence you can have from eating butter.
How old did we live to when we ate on just freaking steak?
That's a nonsensical statement. You know why the average life expectancy was 38? Because the infant mortality rate was 30. So 30% of people were dying at 1. And a higher percentage was dying before 10. Once you made it to 10, your life expectancy then is the same.
Point about Bob. I made my
How long
point.
did Thomas Jefferson live? How long did George Washington live? If you made it to 10, you lived till you were 75, 80, 90 years old, just like you do now. It hasn't changed except the infant mortality rate dropped. Like, when you're going to use that stat, you should really say...
You're not a doctor, neither am I.
I don't know how that matters, though. Like, that really can't be factually correct.
I
How you
don't
feeling,
like
Bobby?
eating vegetables. I don't eat vegetables, so I don't like it.
Don't
So
eat
it
vegetables.
doesn't-
That's not meant for humans to...
I
Hold
don't
on.
like
Hold
vegetables.
on.
Everybody asks me if I eat vegetables. I don't.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But Bobby, you go see a doctor, right?
Yes, I go see a doctor. Yes.
Listen, you understand where I'm just saying.
I'm feeling a lot better. I'm telling you right now.
Bobby, that's great. I'm so glad you are. But my only thing to you is, hey, continue on your diet. Continue doing what you're doing right now.
I'll go see I have a doctor's appointment next month. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Go get your blood work done, and then your doctor, maybe he'll say, hey, man, whatever you're doing, keep doing it now. And maybe he'll say, hey, I want you to add this, or I want you to add that, or maybe take this out. And that's all I'm saying.
No, I need to get multivitamins. That's what.
Hey, multivitamins. But you'll find out, Bobby. It's gonna be you're gonna lose a lot of weight real quick, and in a few weeks, it's gonna be tougher and tougher.
Yeah, but if I'm exercising in my house with the walking pad, I'm gonna be fine. Trust me.
No, it's okay. But once you lose that first bit, it's not like it doesn't keep coming off like that. So don't get
know that you got to work at it, which I'm going to.
Bob, here's what I want to say. The carnivore diet is weight stabilizing. If you stick with it for a year, it'll get you down to the weight that you're supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get shredded with a six-pack, right? But you'll get down
No,
to the
I
weight
don't
that
want
you're
it.
supposed
I just want to get
You'll get down to the
fat
weight
off
that you're
me.
supposed to be, and it'll stabilize your weight.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not doing that whatsoever. I didn't say I've never said that it doesn't work. And but it's like I said, it's a specific diet.
Well, I got a doctor's appointment next week, so that's
now, and they're
Acknowledge the super chat from iStan. He paid $50 for it. For the love of God.
Well, he's giving you the money. You want to read his comment? You can read his comment. I mean, he paid you $50, not me.
Immediately, which are why athletes carb load, correct? If used immediately, gains weight. Fat is for long term, and you could absorb less fat than you do carbs. Keto is useful for losing weight fast. Not an amazing long-term solution.
Even Hawk said I'm doing a good job. Even Hawk, he says Gary is right. Gary is right. Hawk is
on the money. Like, I think Hawk. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to offend Hawk, but I think Hawk went from fat to shredded. I think.
Yes, he did. He said he did. He did.
Yeah.
He said butter is good for you. That's what he said.
Especially
I don't
since you're
eat butter 7
like I
days a week. I have 3 days a week. Then I eat cottage cheese, which I love. And I like eggs too, so I could deal with that. I'm fine.
Oh, you like eggs, Bobby? Yeah, you like eggs.
Yes,
Eggs are
I
really good.
like
You
scrambled eggs. I like scrambled eggs,
Good.
fried eggs.
However
But
you
I'll
wanna eat
do
'em.
the scrambled eggs. Yeah.
Bobby, I wish you the best, man. I wish you luck in your journey of weight loss
But
and getting
stop giving Gary a hard time, please. Okay.
No,
Thank you.
we're having. No, I live for it, Bobby. It's all good, Bobby. I promise.
You have to understand, me and Gary, we're on the same page. We can argue back and forth. It's not
And
personal.
where you never come on my show, Hamburger. Where are you on my show? You never come on my show.
Well, you
What?
never
Nobody
invite me.
gives a shit.
Well, first of all, I sang happy birthday to you, and I did invite you.
Do I pass the test? Can I sing, Gary? Can I sing, Bobby? Am I allowed to sing you happy birthday?
Yeah, whatever you want to sing, it's fine on my show.
I can't Hamburger. That was really good. Like, but Pearl Jam is like one of my least favorite bands of all time. But that was good. I was surprised that
Pearl Jam.
I,
But
you know why I did that? Because the chat asked me to do that. I said that I look like any better, so I picked the Pearl
Are
Jam
you
song.
busy at 6:00 tonight? Are you with your kids at 6?
Usually I'm with my kids, Bobby, but I'll see what I can do and
Okay, whenever you get a free time, come on. It's usually
my
after.
son goes to CCD tonight, and my wife won't be around, so maybe I'll.
Oh,
let
is
him-
that? Yeah, that's. Does he have to get dragged for that? CTD.
What's that?
Is that religious instructions, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
CCD.
it was like, my parents used to have to drag my ass there all the time. Oh God, I hated that. Monday nights, and especially Monday Night Football.
I wasn't a big fan of it either when I was young, but
No, I was dragged there. Yeah. Yep.
You know what,
I
Bobby?
see.
Doing things you don't want to do because they net the best possible result is a principle that will serve you well in the rest of
Well,
your life.
first off, everybody asks me if I don't eat vegetables. Oh, do you have vegetables? No, I don't eat vegetables.
Hello, Gary. I am going to kill you because you eat only butter. You need a salad like me.
I just want to address that last comment. Okay, if I'm wrong, and the first heart attack in America wasn't recorded in 1912, when was it recorded? Please, I'm open to being wrong. Please correct me because I've got my research done. So, if there was a heart attack in America recorded before 1912, let me show it to me.
Yeah, I don't eat vegetables.
I've
so
done the research.
Everybody asks me if I eat vegetables. I don't like eating vegetables. I don't.
So you won't eat
The
any
only
vegetables?
vegetable I really like is corn, but that's not very nutritious.
Don't eat corn. I have all the vegetables.
I know, but it makes you poop a lot, though. It does make you poop.
All right. Listen, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to eat some lunch. I got to go. I got a brand new.
What are you having for lunch?
Me? Probably just a sandwich.
A
Probably
hamburger
salmon, bologna and
Hamburger
cheese.
sandwich? Oh, I love my bologna. But I can't have the bread, so I just eat
cut the bread. Straight to the meat.
Yeah.
Cause inflammation.
Listen, hopefully we get a win on Sunday. I'm all for the Jets winning Sunday. So I'm going to get out of here. Jets, Jets, baby. Let's go.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Till next time, Hamburger.
Okay.
I'm glad-
Gary,
I'm
I'm
glad you're
feeling a lot better than I used. I'm telling you, it's working.
I told you, I'm on a
People
mission from God to make America healthy again.
Well, look what you did to Metro Funny. He lost 40 pounds.
I know, and he's all.
Chicken doesn't go with pasta. Don't you know it's disgusting? Chicken can't go with pasta. Why? Because of the texture. Instead, go get yourself pizza at the closest Shell gas station. Cause chicken don't go with pasta. I just discovered dogs are pets.
Until next time, I'm still laughing at that line. That was an incredible back and forth with the hamburger and Gary. Incredible. All right, I was going to end the show, but this guy doesn't call often, and he's contributed a lot anytime he does call. And he might be one of the more talented callers we have. And I believe the New York Jets are back on CBS this week, so we will introduce him with this.
Let's go, baby.
Bijan joins us now. What's up, Bijan?
Oh yeah, gotta love the football songs, man. Appreciate the call, letting me call. Just had a quick question. I'm seeing kind of in like the Patriots community, like the headline is talking about Mike Vrabel. Albert Breer is kind of putting out feelers that after that Gerard Mayo comment, that Patriots might be going in a different direction, even after 1 year. And now so basically my question is, do you think Vrabel, if offered the position to be, like, let's say the Patriots job opens up and they say, hey, Vrabel, we'll give you the chance to have complete reins, and maybe we'll bring in Thomas Dimitroff because, he was in New England as well. Like, would you see that as a kind of competitive, like, market in terms of that job versus the Jets job? Because the Jets job, while it's got a better roster overall, I worry that, Drake May has looked pretty solid. And, that was one of the big reasons Mike Vrabel got fired from the Titans, was because he was cozying up during that Ring of Honor ceremony with the Crafts. So I'm just wondering, like, let's just say the Patriots job opens up. How would you rank that? Would you be worried about the Patriots, like, maybe stepping in over the Jets?
Yeah, look, they're a real threat because of the quarterback, but their roster sucks. There's questions about if ownership's willing to even spend money. Look, if it comes down to money, Woody Johnson's got to have the highest offer by far. I don't know. I mean, if they're going to fire Gerard Mayo after 1 year, New England kind of looks like a clown show. So he played there. He might love his time there, but he never coached there. And Mike Vrabel is only going to get one more chance to be a head coach. You never get 3 chances, really. So I feel like he would have to go to the team that he thinks will give him the best chance to win. You could argue it's still the Jets, even if New England has a young quarterback. And May's been good, but we don't know what he is yet. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, he's very raw. You don't know kind of what his future holds. And there was those rumors a couple of years ago when Rodgers was on the trading block that, hey, him and Vrabel have a good relationship. Maybe he goes to Rodgers has a home in Nashville or something like that. So maybe that relationship could be used to our benefit. In addition to basically saying, hey, we'll give you the keys to the kingdom. We don't have a GM in place. You pick the GM. A lot of teams are keeping their GMs right now. Trent Baalke might stay in Jacksonville. Ryan Poles might stay in Chicago. Not necessarily guarantee that Vrabel wants to deal with that again. So I think that is a huge positive for us, is that if we decide to give Vrabel the keys to the kingdom, I mean, he's got that option. He's got the chance to build it his way. So
100%. Yeah, it's a threat, but we'll see. We'll see how Rodgers plays down the stretch. If he plays well, maybe Vrabel's like, I can win there. Bijan left. Bijan, good call. It's certainly something to watch. There's no doubt. But we'll see if they even fired Gerard Mayo in the first place. I mean, you're going to fire a head coach that replaced Bill Belichick after 1 year? You look like a clown show. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks to all the callers. We couldn't have done it without you. Thanks to all the people who gifted memberships. We will have an Asmaniac raffle during the afternoon stream today. We're going to do it all month long. Got a ton of prizes to give away. We'll give away the surfboard and the Super Bowl III photo this afternoon. So I'm looking forward to that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for your support. My name is Jake Asman. This has been another Jake Asman Show. I will talk to you guys soon. JETS, 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 Jets.
And now for a word from our new sponsor.
If you're Hispanic, you know what I mean when you're out. Every time you were sick, you go like that and just rub this shit all over your body, and then you put like a heavy blanket over you so you could sweat out the cold.
And that was medical advice would be, man. Vicks Mo Dre. Hello, Dre.
Any self-respecting Puerto Rican is going to have Vicks on them at all times.
Latinos use this for everything. Literally, I would get cut as a kid. I'd fall on the floor, cut. My grandmother would try to put this on everything. It's like, a cut, ponte Vicks. Damn cancer, ponte Vicks.
This gets me through, I'm feeling a little sniffly. You just pop this bad boy in. Vicks cures broken hearts, cancer.
Literally, Dr. Dre giving us some medical advice.
We don't go to the hospital. Like, we don't want to find out what's wrong with us.
To a kid with a cold, it's love. To a mother, it's more. It's medicine.
Like, you could be.
Oh, take that, you pesky Patriots fans.